and of course anyone else can as well.
Yeah, I'll keep my eye on it too.
I think we should be live. I'm just going to turn out the audio of my phone.
Sorry.
That's right. Okay, are we live? I don't think we are.
Not live for me yet.
Is it not going to start until past anyway?
It's live now.
Okay, it's live now. Perfect place to start it. Hi everyone, welcome to Chicago Stories, a Chicago by Night mini-Chronicle. I'm the Primogen. I will be your storyteller for tonight, and let's do some presentations. We'll start with Sebastian.
Hi, I'm Josh. I am a YouTuber and streamer over on Strange Adventures, but tonight I'm playing Sebastian Carter, who's a DJ and a little bit grumpy about his lot in life.
Can't imagine why. Thank you very much. We'll continue with Marie.
Hi everybody, I'm Huddy. I do Let's Play videos and Vampire the Masquerade lore videos. And tonight I'm playing Marie the Lasombra, who has a very interesting past.
Which we might just perhaps explore a little bit during the game. Thank you. We'll continue with Stanley.
Yes, I think Kitsu and I may have swapped places.
I was gonna say, we're swapped. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Oh, I'll fix that while you guys introduce yourselves.
Absolutely. I'm Harry. You can find me on Twitter at Harry_Wyckoff. I host a podcast, Saratoga by Night, and I'm on a bunch of other stuff on Onyx Path. Find me there. Also, made a new YouTube channel, Salubri Cat. Check that out. New video is coming out tonight because I finished editing it early.
Perfect. Thank you.
Good job.
So slowly falling in over Nick.
I'm playing Stanley, the Nosferatue. Was too busy shamelessly self-promoting to introduce myself.
That's quite all right. And last but not least,
I'm Kitsu. I also have a YouTube channel, which is a little bit dead, but hopefully not for long. And I play a lot of stuff on Onyx, not a lot of stuff, just one stuff, Changeling the Lost as well, and Onyx Path, this game, Changeling the Lost, Littleburg Reunion, and tonight I'll be playing Giulia. Is that all? Did I do it right?
That can be all. All right, I just need to do some slight last minute. Sorry, tech happens, folks, but that should be all good now. I'm gonna put Kitsu back in, or Marie. There we go. Everything is as it should be. Sorry about that. And as I said, I'm the Primogen. I will be your storyteller for tonight, and we expect to be playing for about 2.5 hours. So let's get started. It is December the 29th in the city of Chicago. Chicago is many things. It's a city of dualities. It's a city of the rich and the poor. It's a city of the old and the young. And it's a city of the living and the dead. Chicago has been ruled for the last couple of years by a man called Kevin Jackson. Kevin is the child of the former prince, Prince Loden, who was lost in the 90s during the war that raged between vampires and lupines, the werewolves that live in the areas surrounding Chicago and sometimes in Chicago. That was, of course, in the 90s. Many years have passed, and quite a few kindred of the city are not even familiar with the stories of Loden. Old blue-eyed Loden, who ruled from the 19th century all the way to the end of the 20th. Loden's Chicago served in many ways as a measuring rod, if you will, to any other Camarilla city in North America. Loden's laws were quite similar to the traditions, but he also worked well with Elysium, and his courts inspired many of the princes of North America. Kevin Jackson has not changed too much of that, but had rather kept a more reserved princedom in comparison to his sire. And like I said, it's 2019, and only a couple of months ago, something happened in Chicago that changed the very foundation of the Vampire Society. 2 representatives from Clan Lasombra arrived at the O'Hare Airport to representatives not here to abandon their clan, not to abandon the Sabbat, for they were the leaders of the Sabbat, Lasombra, the heart of this sect. No, they came to represent the Amici Noctis, the Friends of the Night, the Council of Lasombra, who had decided, perhaps wisely, that it was time to jump ship, to join the Ivory Tower for reasons not entirely clear. The two delegates were called Sierra von Buris and Malenkov. Both of them were children of Tali, one of the most famous Lasombra Sabbat. Sierra bargained with Prince Kevin Jackson, and the end result was the sacrifice of Malenkov, her brother, if you will. And a new rule was established. If any Lasombra wished to join the Camarilla, or at least in Chicago, they had to sacrifice an elder of the Sabbat to gain entrance. Of course, this was only a few months ago, but already several Lasombra have made their presence known in the city, much to the distaste, even the anger, of more traditional Camarilla members. Still, membership of the Ivory Tower does bring with it some perks, and amongst them the tradition of destruction, the tradition of hospitality. Unless you provoke, no one can technically kill you. Of course, in a city like Chicago, being technically killed, it's not the same as being accidentally killed. I am apparently super quiet, so I will raise my volume. Thank you very much, chat, for that. Here we go. Hopefully that will be a little bit better. All right. We will start the evening with Marie. Marie, I would like you to roll 1d10. And on a result from 1 to 3, your hunger will be 1. 4 to 6, it will be, oh, here we go. You rolled a 10, which means your hunger will start at 4 tonight. So if you would tick 4 boxes of your hunger, that's an unfortunate roll for you. Quite an unfortunate one for me. For those of you unfamiliar with the V5 rule system, you have hunger dice replacing your blood pool. And for every dot of hunger you have, you replace one of your dice, your common black ones, with a red one. And they will be adding some interesting events, perhaps. We'll see. All right. Apparently I'm a little bit quiet still.
Yeah, we're still getting stuff in chat, just a tiny bit.
Right. How are the players though? Are you fine?
Yeah, can you hear us okay, guys?
Let us know.
Yeah, let us know.
La 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 la.
La 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 la. All right, let's set the scene. Marie, it's Sunday the 29th. It's in Chicago, so obviously the streets are either covered in sleet or snow rapidly turning into it. That doesn't really bother you though. You're a vampire. You don't really care too much about the cold. It's a minor inconvenience for you. But this particular night, it does affect your plans a little bit. Or rather, it has been affecting your plans a little bit. You haven't really been able to hunt for the last couple of days. But tonight is Sunday, which means church night for the congregation. A dog is barking in an alley as you walk past it, obviously sensing your undead presence. But you don't really care. It's a dog. It's harmless to you. Now you have something else in mind. You're standing outside the bar tap. Small neighborhood drinking hole, you might call it. But the interesting thing about the bar tap is that it's owned by a small but fairly well-off congregation. One that you're very familiar with yourself. Quite familiar. And inside, of course, you see a small amount of people, all men, drinking, talking with each other, some playing pool, some throwing darts. Of course, it's VIP night. They're the only ones allowed in, as it is after church. Not as many as there used to be. A few of them home, perhaps suffering from a recent bout that has been plaguing the congregation of lightheadedness, of tiredness, exhaustion. Anemia perhaps, but they don't recall bleeding. Your hunger is very strong in you right now. You've held off. You don't really feed from people who doesn't fit into your plan, so to speak. Why don't you describe how Marie is approaching this bar, or perhaps not approaching it, and yourself while you're at it?
Well, as hungry as I am, I would be approaching the bar probably with striding purpose. Barely able to contain myself, just thinking about what awaits me inside. So probably on other nights, I would try to sneak around the back, maybe going through the small kitchen area where they make pub snacks.
Yeah.
But tonight, I'm walking in the front door,
Ooh.
brazen
Of course,
and purposeful.
The patriarchs, as they like to call themselves, look up as you enter. One of them jokingly says, "I don't recall ordering entertainment." And some of the boys join in the laughter. It's obvious they're on their home turf. They know what they're doing. But there's something off about you. The laughter dies quickly as you walk inside. It's warm inside. And there's about 5 or 6 of them, as far as you can tell.
Do I recognize them?
Oh, yes, you do. They're all members that you've identified during your time here in Chicago. Some of them you've even fed from in the past, but they don't remember you. Usually you're not quite as brazen about this, but the hunger has made you careless, maybe, or bold would be another word.
Mm-hmm.
One of them walks up to you and goes, "Can we help you? Did you get lost?"
Yes, I'm new in the city, and it's very cold outside, and it looks quite warm in here.
Sorry, sweetheart. It's a private party right now.
Oh, surely a big man like you could keep me warm, maybe even just for a little while.
Do you hear that, fellas? He kind of laughs and goes, "Well, I mean, you can stay for a bit if you want. I guess we got enough food to go around. Got a few people missing. What's your name?"
My name? Do names really matter in a place like this?
Looks like we got a weird one. So, you're new in town, huh?
I
Where
am.
Are you from?
Oh, I've been here, there, and everywhere. But I like Chicago.
Yeah, it's pretty good here, right?
Yeah. Do you have a booth? Like, what's your favorite place to sit? I like places that are a little cozier.
You see how the crowd of men kind of go, ooh, like they're obviously a little bit perhaps jealous or perhaps a little bit disconcerted about this very forceful woman just approaching what you would assume is their leader. He kind of looks taken aback for a bit, like he wasn't expecting this, and looks around like maybe thinking this is some kind of hidden camera joke, but then he just, well, maybe it's the beer in me, but I do feel like I should probably lie down for a bit. We got a room in the back if you're tired.
I'm not tired, but I would like a little company. It gets lonely when you're in a new city, you know?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it gets lonely. He kind of laughs awkwardly and goes to the back door. After you.
Okay. So I follow him to this back room.
Mm-hmm.
What's in it?
It's like a little restroom for, well, not restroom, like a break room for the staff. So there's a couch. There's actually a small bed. Looks unmade, like someone's been living here. And there's a couple of empty bottles of liquor by the wall. There's an almanac on the wall. It's just not a very nice room at all.
Would you like to sit down for a minute?
Yeah, he doesn't need any kind of convincing. He's already partway getting undressed.
Mm-hmm. I would like to use something violent, but Can I just use potence in general to push him against a wall?
You can certainly
Not
try.
maybe so violently that he would be suspicious. Maybe I'm just kinky that way.
Maybe you are. I'm just going to give you a little bit of a warning since you're new to the system, that anytime you do something that is contested, anytime you do something that calls for a dice roll, since you have 4 in hunger, it's going to be very risky.
Yes, I
But
know.
maybe you don't care. After all, you're alone in this room, and honestly, his face pisses you off.
If he is who I think he is, it certainly does.
Oh, yeah.
You mentioned he might be the leader.
You think you recognize him being the leader, but at this point, does it really matter? You feel
Not really.
at the back of your throat, it's like, stop thinking about this. Just do it. Just empty him. Drain him.
I'd like to push him against the nearest surface and start drinking.
Absolutely. I would like you to roll your... let me see here. What would be a good willpower roll? That would be...
Oh, God.
I don't have a character sheet up at the moment, but that would be your... Let me see here. I got the book. Why don't you give a resolve composure roll for me, please?
Oh, God.
So what you do is you click on the little dice next to resolve, and then you scroll down and pick composure as well. And then you roll for it, and we'll see what you get.
2.
Ooh, let me see here. What does it say at the bottom? Is that a bestial?
Oh, it is.
That is a bestial.
Oh, it.
But that's
yeah.
still success, though. So that's fine. It's not a
It
magic
just-
crit.
The beast thing at the bottom just detects when there's a 1 in your hunger
It's a
dice.
very fortunate roll for you. If you had
Oh,
critted
good.
with one of those, or if you hadn't gotten a success with your 1 hunger die, you would have had a bestial failure or a messy crit, both of which would have probably not ended too well. As it is, though, you managed to rein it in. You're not going to kill this guy. You don't want them to be too worried at the moment. You want to savor this. So you push him up against the wall. He kind of laughs like, "Oh, hey, take it easy." But you don't take it easy.
I don't want to.
You sink your fangs into his neck, perhaps?
Oh, yes.
Now, when you're feeding from a mortal, you can take, I believe it is up to 3 hunger before you're causing some serious damage.
Right. And I wouldn't want to do that.
No, you wouldn't. But he's definitely going to be out of commission for a while if you take that much.
That's pity.
So what do you do?
But
How
I
much
would
do you
like
take?
to take 3, yes.
You'll
I
take
would.
3. So that means you go down to 1 hunger again.
Mm-hmm.
And you sink your fangs into his neck, and he gives this kind of shuddering moan as the kiss hits. And he just kind of collapses against you, his eyes fluttering as his mind goes blank. And you drink, you feel his heart beating through your fangs, but you just take your fill of blood. And soon enough, he's pale, he's breathing heavily, his heart is beating faster and faster, trying to compensate for missing almost half of its blood, which is very dangerous for a person, especially if they're bleeding out.
So I must lick his wound closed then, yes?
You do. You take your fangs out. The beast inside you, although sort of satisfied, kind of still hisses in disappointment as you don't finish him off. You don't top it off. You don't get rid of all your hunger. But you lick the wound closed, and it's like it was never there. No bruise, no scratch, nothing.
Can I place him gently down somewhere so I don't leave him
Of course.
collapsed on the floor?
Of course. He is like how would you describe it, a sack of potatoes at the moment. He has no control over his body. He kind of moans again, but this time more in a weak state. And you gently put him down on the bed. He won't remember any biting. He will probably think he had a pretty good night. But he's definitely not going into work tomorrow, that's for sure.
What a shame.
Yeah. Do you go out through the bar, or do you try to find a back exit?
Absolutely not. I would probably then, I imagine the entrance to the kitchen would also be close to this break room. So I would just slip out that way.
You go out the kitchen way. You catch the back of the bartender who works there. He's busy making fries. Of course he is. So he doesn't see you leave. And as
Good.
you head out, you get a text. Unfortunately for you, you're going to have to go through your usual ritual of...
Yeah. I really hate when people send me texts.
Yeah, you're going to have someone else read it for you.
I am.
But that'll be a problem for later. Right now, you're sated. You do see, though, as the screen glitches, you do catch the name Seb, the Ventrue you met not too long ago. Sending you a
Yes,
text.
him.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
Giulia. It's been about 2 weeks
Yeah.
since you changed hotels last time. The staff are getting a little bit suspicious. You've been staying for quite a while, but your money's good. You're paying in cash. And currently, you're in the bar of the hotel. I would like you to roll a d10, please.
D20.
Yes, no, d10, please.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. That's a 8. It means you will end up with 3 hunger. You're pretty hungry. Not a great roll, but not a bad one either. This is a bit of a house rule, by the way, if you folks are wondering. Just for the beginning of the campaign. We'll see how hungry people are. And, Giulia, you're pretty hungry. Maybe you've been busy researching, trying to figure out if there's a lead in the city or not, but you feel the beast making its presence known. It's kind of scratching at the back of your throat. You feel like you have to force yourself not to extend your fangs as you're sitting in this bar. It's not too bad of a bar. It's not a great hotel. You've been at better places, but 2 weeks in, and you've been in Chicago for much longer than that, you're not running out of cash, but you're not spendy either. There's plenty of people here. It's a Sunday evening. Lots of travelers, people living in their suitcases, coming and going to Chicago, doing their business, leaving. Many of them not even seeing more than their hotel room, the conference center, and then the airport, which is perfect for someone like you who has a peculiar way of feeding. You're sitting in this throng of people. You smell the sweat, the alcohol, the blood under it all. So many people around you. What are you looking for? Who are you going to feed from tonight?
I'm looking for some kind of business person that seems relatively tired, perhaps having their last drink or something along those lines.
There's quite a few of those. But if you want to look for someone that would be an easy prey for this, then why don't you go ahead and roll wits... No, there's no perception roll anymore. Wits alert? Very bad at this system, sorry. I'm more of an old school player, but we'll take it out here. Why don't you roll wits awareness for me, please? So you click on wits, and then you select awareness. No, you click on awareness, sorry, and then you select wits.
I was thinking.
Yeah, sorry about that.
This is not going to go that well, but...
It'll be all right. It'll be all right. That is 2 successes. That's decent.
Considering there's only 3 dice, we're good.
That's a pretty good success. But that's not right. You should have 3 hunger. So all 3 of those should be red.
Oh.
But that's fine. It's still a normal success. You have to manually enter your hunger at the bottom of your sheet. That's fine though. We'll leave it for that for later. That's still 2 successes. Nothing messy about it really. And you spot several different businessmen, of course. One you notice have been giving you long looks during the night. He's kind of balding at the top of his head. He's got this honestly very tacky tie that's half untied. He's wearing striped shirt with it's just clashing. It's not good. It's not a good look on him.
Honey, no,
and you can
that.
even see his socks. Like when he's sitting, his pants are so pulled up that you can see above his socks. This guy doesn't have class.
Is there someone else? Do I have to?
Oh, do you? Well, if you want to, what exactly are you looking for?
Someone that at least has some basic sense of aesthetic. Like,
Alright.
this is okay. We have
Yeah.
the bottom of the
That's fine.
picking
You're
list.
looking for a
but
man, for a woman?
Doesn't matter. Just
Doesn't matter.
better choice,
Yeah.
perhaps.
Well, you do spot a couple of more. You spot a woman who's been talking to some, you would assume, friends. She's actually still got her name tag on her. It seems like they've been having a conference either in the hotel or nearby. You can spot that her name is Clara, and she looks okay. Like, she's wearing a business, like a suit, dress suits, pinstripe, charcoal gray, blouse underneath, tasteful amount of jewelry, decent makeup for someone who's here for business. She's clearly just enjoying a couple of glasses of wine with her friends before she's leaving for wherever she's going. But incidentally,
She's going
actually
somewhere?
she might be going home because she's heading out of the bar right now, presumably to her room, you would guess.
Oh. I put my drink down and I try to catch up with her.
Yeah, that's no problem. You paid for the drink before you got it, and of course it's untouched, so they just empty the glass and put it away, and you walk after her. She's had a few glasses of wine. Like, she's not staggering, but you can tell that she's not walking perfectly. Still, she's wearing high heels, so it's kind of impressive that she's still making her way out to the elevator. She goes inside, and if you hurry up, you can catch it with her.
I try to hurry up.
Yeah. You catch the door right as it's about to close, get inside. She actually blocks the door to help you get in.
Oh, thank you, Clara, honey. It's so good to see you. I've been looking at you the whole night. I wasn't sure.
Oh, hi. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't think I caught your name.
Oh, it's been so long. Yes, it's Annette.
Oh, Annette.
It's been so long. Don't worry about it. Are you okay?
All right. I would like you to roll a manipulation subterfuge roll, please.
Okay, let me find that. So, what do I enter for
you
the hunger?
go subterfuge and you add manipulation. Oh, but first, make your hunger into 3, please. You just press the third dot. Yeah, there you go.
And then I'm rolling subterfuge and manipulation.
Manipulation, yes. Let's see the result for this.
Okay.
Oh, 5 successes. Impressive. That is some impressive lying. She just, oh, Annette, oh, it's so good to see. I'm so sorry. I didn't recognize you. She just, like, gives you a hug. Like,
oh my gosh.
I'm so sorry, Annette. I'm sorry. I've had so much to drink. It's
No, I get it.
I'm heading back to Nebraska tomorrow. I'm so sorry, yeah.
Well, it was nice seeing you. Can I, like, do you have let's just chat for a few minutes.
Oh yeah, sure. I'm going to my room. I was gonna go to bed, but I got time for you. No worries. How you
Thank
doing?
you
How you
so
been?
much.
Like you
I've
can
been
tell
good. The
she
kids
doesn't
are good.
recognize you, but
Everything is amazing. Like, I've been having a little bit of so there, like a little bit of a weird year, but you know, it's getting better. What about you?
I'm
Your
so sorry to
business
hear
and
that.
stuff?
Sorry, what?
It's gonna be better. What about your business?
Oh, it's all
How's
right.
it
It's
going?
fine. I'm here. It's just a conference. You know how it is. All the cities just go together over time. It's it's insurance stuff. Wow.
You look stunning. I love this.
Thank you.
This
Realize it's just
costume on
business
you.
casual. You're chatting her up. Like, she's going along with it. It's fine. Like, are you trying to hit on her, or is it just like friendly talking?
No, just friendly talk.
Yeah,
like
it's no problem.
Catching up with an old
no
friend.
problem. She looks like she's feeling very guilty for not recognizing you and trying to do her best to placate her ego, or her guilt, her sense of guilt. And she goes over to her room and she takes out the card key and opens the door. It's like, okay, tell me, like, how your year's been bad. Like, what happened?
Oh yeah, my mom's been sick, but she has to have a couple of operations, they said, and then she'll be better. So I'm gonna go actually home soon as well.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
But it's life. It's years. It's what happens. You can't
happens.
really do anything
I know
about that.
I know what you mean. Like, she
Tell me what you're doing with your hair, because I love that.
Oh, thank you. I actually did it up just before I went to
it?
Chicago. I felt like, yeah, I'm going to one of the biggest cities in the
Honey,
US,
That's good, like chef's kiss. I love it on you. It really brings
she's
up your
super
eyes.
relaxed, like she's hanging off her jacket and kind of stretching. Like there's 2 chairs in the room. It's a pretty okay room. Like yeah, you could probably stay here for the night if you wanted to.
I chat a little bit
Yeah.
with her, and I just laugh at weird jokes. Like, do you remember that? She's like that. I try to, you know.
And you're chatting and you're talking, and as you're doing that, you actually get a text from your phone. And it's Sebastian.
I sigh and I'll be like,
yeah, he wants to meet up apparently.
oh, I just got a text. I'm gonna have to go soon, but you should lay
really?
down. You don't look good. Let me help you out, okay?
Okay.
You lay down,
Sure.
try to rest, and if you need anything or something like that, I'll go get you some water, okay?
Oh yeah, sure. Thank you. She's very tired. Like she was buzzed when you came in, and you can tell that she's been exhausted. She's been at a conference center all day, walking around, trying to be friendly to people she doesn't like. So she's exhausted. You go to the bathroom, you pour a glass of water, you come back.
Yeah, I go
she's
pour a glass of
snoozing.
water and take text with one hand. I'm like, give me a bit.
Yeah.
Give me 10. Put the phone back, and then I come back.
Yeah, she's
And I
out
tried
cold.
to-
She's knocked out.
Okay. Then I very gently take off her shoes, try to tuck her in, everything perfect, and then I try to feed.
You feed.
I lean over her, yeah.
Yeah. You sink your fangs in. There's no resistance. She's sleeping. There's like a little sigh from her lips as the fangs break the skin, the kiss taking effect, and you drink. How much do you take? If you take 1, she's probably going to be a little bit drowsy. She's not going to be hurt in any way. 2, she will be exhausted. Might have to take a couple of days off when she gets back. That's about as much as you can take. Or a voice in the back of your head reminds you, you could always just drink as much as you want, and that nagging hunger in the back of your head, that nagging, overwhelming desire to feed will be gone. You'll be at peace. Of course, Carol, or whatever her name is, will be gone as well, but you'll be full.
No, I think
no,
2.
come on. It's right there. Just empty her out. It's okay. You can do it.
I don't want trouble. I didn't catch it. This is the first hotel I'm in? This is a new hotel I'm in?
You've been in here for a couple of weeks, 2 weeks.
Yeah, I don't want trouble. No. So I'm just gonna drink 2.
You drink 2. She'll be tired.
I try to resist.
She'll be tired.
She's gonna chalk it up to aging and like bad hangovers. It's going to be okay.
It never gets easier when you get older. You notice her flight ticket is for 7 a.m. Early. Ugh, this is a cheap flight.
I hope she got her.
Alarm?
I set up her alarm.
You
Actually,
do?
I check if she did. Yeah, I check.
All right, yeah, you set up her alarm.
Like 5:30 or something.
Yeah, that should be enough if she runs. It'll be okay.
Maybe she has another alarm.
Yeah.
And I tuck her hair back so she looks nice and pretty. And then I go.
And then you leave.
Then I go and I text back, what is going on? What do you want?
Yeah. And as you do that, we'll go back in time a little bit. And we'll go to Stanley.
Hello.
Hello, Stanley. It is Sunday night. And it's the last Sunday of the month. Which means that it's the monthly meetup with the Thin Bloods over at St. Stephen's Church in Hyde Park. St. Stephen's Church has been abandoned for a very long time. Nobody really knows what to do with the lot, if they should make it a church again, or if they should just raise it and build condos there or whatever. But it suits your kind perfectly. There's a couple of homeless there always is, by a barrel with a flame burning in it. It's the middle of the winter. It's cold.
Mm-hmm.
But
I'll make a rouse check, correct?
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, not a rouse check. You roll a d10.
Yeah, the roll d10.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you.
Is that...
That's 1, so you're at hunger 1.
Hell yeah.
Perfect. So you're heading over there. That's where you're meeting some of the people who meet every month just to check in on each other. Being a thin blood or being an outcast in this city, in Chicago, is a little bit more dangerous, you'd say, than being an outcast amongst humans. After all, humans don't usually feed on each other, at least not in the literal sense. The person who arranges this is Sylvia Roanhorse, who, she's got a couple of years on her. You're technically not a thin blood, you're a Nosferatu through and through, but you don't have your sire, and you're not a pariah, but you're certainly not the one who's invited to all the soirees when they're being held.
Absolutely.
It's good company. So you're heading to Hyde Park.
Yes.
And this huge, let's see here, domed ceiling. Sorry, this huge domed ceiling inside. The church is easy to get into. There's a couple of broken windows. Actually, the gate is open as well. And you spot a few of the thin bloods standing there, and a couple of homeless as well, just huddled in a corner. They're not bothering you.
Howdy.
But they look up. Do you say howdy to the thin bloods or to the immortals?
To the thin bloods.
The thin bloods. They look up, say hi. There's a lot of young people here, both figuratively and literally. Thin bloods usually don't last long in the city unless they gain the protection of, for example, the blood disco, which is sort of a K-TIF thin blood thing. You're not entirely sure about the specifics, but you know that they got enough clout to protect people. But not everyone gets that opportunity. You see Ben Galura, who is one of the more prominent members of the Thin Bloods. Ben, he's got a little bit of a talent. He at least believes he can tell the future. And he's looking a little bit worried as he waves to you.
What's bothering you, Ben?
Hi, Stan. Stanley, Stan?
Either works.
Either works. All right, cool. How's your bees, by the way? It's pretty cold, right?
They're doing fine, and I'll have them like crawl across my face.
Yeah, you have hornets going in and out of your nostrils and your ears and what have you. It's perfectly normal. They're doing okay. It is kind of cold, so they're a little bit
sluggish.
Sluggish, yeah. But Ben, by the way, we're getting some questions in the chat. Ben is one of the thin bloods of the city. This is all from Chicago by Night, by the way, which is coming soon to your bookstores. He kind of looks around a little bit and goes, I'm all right, but I'm a little bit worried. Like, we were 12 last time, right? Now we're 9. This is not normal.
No, it's not.
Have you heard anything? Like, you know your type, right? You're a Nosferatu, right?
Yes.
Like the movies? Did they say anything
so.
like I mean, I tried to get in touch with Sylvia. I have not spoken to Sylvia for like 5 days.
Would I have heard any rumors?
No.
Nothing. Okay.
Unfortunately, thin bloods, like they're not a lot of people care about them. At least not enough to keep track of them. Sylvia, though, she's a bit of a firebrand. You know her. She would make noise if something was going to happen to her. If she knew something was going to happen, it's not uncommon for not everyone to show up. Like, your numbers fluctuate a lot. There's the regulars who always show up, but there's always a couple doing something else. It's hard to keep.
Are there
track.
any of the regulars who are missing?
There's a few. You think 1 or 2 faces that you usually see that haven't shown up, and again, Sylvia, she leaves a pretty big hole after her when she's missing. She's always she's talking about colonizers coming to, like, not only did they take over this area, they're still taking over this area. Like, you got vampire colonizers. It's crazy. You'd think that when everyone was a vampire, they would invite you in. They're strength in numbers, but no, even in undeath, they do this shit.
It's concerning.
But Ben kind of looks around and goes, I kind of had a vision. This when I woke up, this twilight. Would you say that twilight? I don't know if it has anything to do with this, but do you remember, like, a couple of months ago when there was all this big noise about the Lasombra joining?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know if there was like a Russian with them?
Not sure.
All right, because I had
Haven't
like
really been.
I had some kind of like I remember Russian. It was something about a Russian. I wrote it down. I didn't bring it with me. I thought, it can wait. And now I'm beating myself up over it because Sylvia's not here. I'm freaking out. We're missing 3 people. It's almost New Year's. I heard someone talking like last year. A lot of people went missing as well. This is really freaking me out.
Yeah, I'd be careful. Maybe don't go anywhere alone.
Yeah. Me and a couple of the others were planning on going to one of the Anarch places. They usually let us stay there if we don't cause any problem.
That's probably a good call. At least
Yeah.
with people going missing, I don't think it would be
Genghis
wise to be on the street.
Yeah, Genghis usually has got our back. He's a pretty nice guy. You ever met him, Genghis?
I
Bald
believe I
guy,
may have.
Piercings all over the face.
I think once,
All right, yeah.
or at least I saw him from afar.
Yeah. All right. I'm just gonna raise the volume a little bit. Still, this is.
All right. Here, I can just talk louder if you need.
I think everyone needs to raise their volumes a little bit, but I'll do that. No worries. Sorry, folks. Tech happens first stream, but yeah, you hang around with the Thin Bloods. It's usually it's not really a fun thing. Like it's not an event you look forward to, but it gives you a little bit of a context.
Yeah.
And they don't judge you. They never say no to like hanging out with you, and they're certainly not playing politics with you, which is a relief.
That's nice.
Yeah.
I generally don't do well in political scenes.
Yeah.
The bees, the wasps tend to put people off.
Yeah. It's relaxing at least, but who knows? Maybe one of these days, one of the Nosferatu are actually gonna let you in on some secrets, or at least let you in where they got their warren. But so far,
Maybe.
You've been staying at your own place. That's the problem when you were barely presented to the prince by the time your sire died. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that sucks.
So we have.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yep. No, sorry. You were saying.
No, you're standing there. You get a text from Seb. You're one of your few friends in the city. Maybe not friends, acquaintances at least. He's been decent to
All
you.
right.
And it's a meetup text. You never met any of the so-called SI, as they're referred to, but you've heard stories. Apparently, there's been kindred missing in the city. Could certainly be SI right now, but you haven't really heard anything about them for like a month or two. But you do know that there's some kind of base they're operating from, and people use code on their phones. It's only common sense, like no keywords. Ivory Tower, maybe. Camarilla, no way. You use that and the sheriff finds out, man, being an outcast is going to be the least of your problems.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's
Looks like I gotta go, guys.
All right. I'll let you know when I've got the. I'll go look at the vision. Sorry, I know you don't really believe in it, but I think it's got something to do with a Russian. I know it. I'll text it to you as soon as I got it.
All right.
All right.
Take care.
Yeah. All right. You head off to the meeting point, and we'll go to Sebastian, the fourth of our player. I would like you to roll a d10, Sebastian.
All right. Oh,
Sorry, Stan.
I'm not Sebastian.
I got a 4.
There we go. A 4. That means you got hunger 2. You're not
2.
hungry, but you're a little hangry, maybe.
Always.
Yeah. So, Sebastian, you're at the Esoteric. It's a electronic dance club at the Hive, the kind of center part of Chicago, so to speak. A couple of years back, it was the Bee's Knees. It was where dubstep was introduced to Chicago. Dubstep's, it's not really peak electronic anymore, but it's still being played occasionally. And tonight's one of those nights. You even heard someone say, "Oh, this is retro." Someone walking in. When did 2011 become retro? You kind of ask yourself. It's
Just
pretty,
making me feel old.
yeah. It's pretty crowded though. This is a safe nightclub in a sense. The owners, they kind of prioritize a high turnaround for customers. So you're too drunk, you get thrown out. You're not drunk enough, you get thrown out. You start trouble, definitely getting thrown out. You use drugs, I mean, you get thrown out if you're making a problem with it. So there's a lot of cocaine. I think I'm echoing a little bit of someone, you know? Never mind, sorry. The club's got an upper floor. There's a bar there. There's a bottom floor, which has the dance floor on it. And right now, the music's playing it's just some, like, someone's got a Spotify playlist going as far as you can tell. You wanna, what are you doing at the Esoteric right now? Do you DJ, or are you just relaxing?
Yeah, I think Seb is preparing for his set. He's getting stuff together. He's actually got vinyls of the things he's going to play, and he's looking at the DJ in the room before him, and they're just like, they've got their MacBook open and then just pressing buttons. They're just swapping tracks. They're not doing anything particularly advanced.
This is an art form, and he's making a joke out of it.
Yeah, they're not even matching
trying.
BPM. It's a travesty, and I'm going to show him up.
Yeah, he's got like 1 minute left at the turntables. You can literally just go up there and get him kicked off. I guess that's what you do.
Yeah, I kick him off early.
Yeah. How are you dressed for tonight?
Kind of street smart. So like baggy clothes, like really expensive fashionable hoodie, like really nice fluorescent green kicks, like all sorts of horrific fashion choices, but they're very nice.
I mean, the 90s is getting in again, so fluorescent lights, fluorescent colors, that's pretty much in fashion now, so
that's the plan, the hope.
Yeah.
Everything comes around, even dubstep.
Yeah. Oh man, you replaced the other DJ. He actually kind of looks relieved. It doesn't seem like this is his kind of music, like he's just getting paid for this gig. So he takes his MacBook, kind of do a little transition to your music. There's like a break of a couple of seconds, but you got this down. Seconds tops. Yeah. And your music starts playing.
He has this whole set planned out. It's going to go from really chill liquid dubstep to a higher, faster drum and bass, and then like mix in some Netski and all these amazing, slightly out of date artists at this point.
Yeah,
but
it's fine. It's a retro night. I mean, it hurts to think of it, but people are here for the 2011s.
Yeah, he tries to keep the fact that he's not on the cutting edge anymore out of his mind, and he just plays.
And it's great. You're actually getting a lot of people up on the dance floor. Like, it was pretty tepid before that, but now, you got a good thing going. You're getting the bass down right properly, boosting the speakers. You know the models. This is not your first time at the Esoteric, so you know the equipment. And you're just at the edge of what they can take without, making the speakers cut or anything like that. And it's going well. Actually, I think I would like you to roll. What would it be? Would it be intelligence or would it be wits? Performance, I was thinking.
Performance? Oh,
is there
okay.
Performance anymore? Sorry about that.
I guess maybe.
Sorry, folks. I'm not too familiar with V5 yet.
Charisma or manipulation?
Perfect. I think. Which would you prefer?
I kind of want to do manipulation. I would like to push these people, like the dancers, the people that are really getting into it, as far as they can go. Just like speed it up, like make it louder, just blow their minds. And like I'm picking out people from the crowd. So
manipulation, what would you want to combine them with? Would it be Would it be performance, or would it be something else?
I have a
computers?
specialty in club music for performance.
Then go with that.
So,
Looks like we momentarily lost our Nosferatu, but that should be fine.
I get 3 successes.
That's
Please.
good. It could be worse, but it could definitely be better. You want to use a willpower?
Oh, you know what? I will.
Yeah. You got nothing else planned for tonight.
Oh, no, that's a willpower roll. No.
So I'm just going to mention that if you want to use a willpower, that means that you're spending one of your willpower points to re-roll up to 3 dice.
Yeah, I've got 2 successes on the dice I can roll, so I'll roll 2.
Perfect. And that's
Oh,
another 2
amazing.
successes. So that's 5 successes. You
better.
kick the ass of the dance floor right now. Everyone who can dance is dancing. This place technically can only fit 300 people. You're pretty sure you've never seen it have less than 300. And now it's more obvious than ever before that there is a huge crowd of people. They are loving your music. And even if they don't love it, they're convinced by their friends that they love it. You see, it's a lot of suburban kids here right now. This place is, like I said, it's safe, relatively safe anyway. You get a certain clientele coming to the esoteric. But it's a smorgasbord for you right now, if you wanted to feed. Of course, you're doing a job as well. What do you want to do? Do you want to keep DJing, or are you taking someone up to the booth?
He's going to pick out the people who are there to party and really seem to be getting into it. So he's gonna like point at a couple of people and pull them up on to the little stage area and like dance with them a little bit while he's doing his set. And
Perfect.
then when it's like close enough that he could probably get away with it to the end of his set, he's gonna like just give up and just invite them backstage.
Yeah, sure. You got a little VIP area that you pretty much made your own. Like at this point, maybe when you're not here, someone else uses them. But there's a couple of couches, fairly decent leather ones, like oxblood, is that what you call it? The dark red?
I don't know.
The color of the couch anyway. And you bring them with you to the VIP section after some dancing, of course. They seem pretty hyped up and very excited that the DJ of the night, the one that brought the party, so to speak, to the Esoterica, is bringing them with him. And it's... How many did you pick? 3, 4, 5?
Like 3.
3.
3 people.
Yeah. So you got 2 guys, a girl, or did you just...
Yeah, like just like whoever was most into it.
Yeah. Just
Didn't really matter to
2
him.
guys, a girl. They seem to... they don't really seem to know each other, but they're so excited about the music that they're like, yeah, this was so great. Like when you dropped the bass, like I don't know anything about dubstep, but it was they're very excited. They're like chatting with each other. They're trying to chat with you as well. Like, are you receptive? Are you a little bit aloof?
No, he definitely responds to their enthusiasm with his own. Like he keeps them chatting for as long as possible, and I guess at some point he selects the juiciest looking.
Yeah, absolutely. You pick the juiciest, whoever that could be. Let's say it's one of the guys who's like he's super into it. Like the other 2 are, one of them is actually taking out like a little bag of white powder, and they're cutting lines on the little table, giving you a look like, is it okay? Yeah,
Go ahead.
Okay, so they're busy with that, and you get to town. And just as you're about to sink your fangs into this guy, you get a text. Like you feel the buzz in your chest pocket, or in your pocket, wherever you're keeping your phone.
He hesitates, thinks about it. Who could it be? Ignores it and continues feeding.
Yeah. You feed, you take... you could technically kill this guy, but your beast is not really... It's not up for it. It's still like, yeah, that was great. You did a great job out there. Like, you're actually... you're kind of in sync with your beast right now. You you're taking some of the energy out with the music. So I guess you're just topping off, going down to 1 hunger.
Yeah, I'll take 1, I guess.
Yeah.
I like that my beast is my hype man, though.
Yeah. Oh, he loves it. He loves it. Sometimes a little bit too much. Kind of got to rein it back every now and then. But you take 1 hunger, so you're back down to 1 again. And the guy, when you feed from him, is like, like he gets into it. He kind of leans back in the armchair that when you're feeding. The other 2 are just busy doing their thing. And yeah, his blood is pretty good. There's of course a hint of alcohol in it, but no other substances that you can taste. And you've gotten pretty used to the clientele right now, so you can taste if someone's been lacing their blood.
Okay. I tell him to, you look a little pale. You should relax here with these 2 for a bit. I've got to go take a call. I'll be back in a bit. And
man, can I get your autograph or something? Like he's halfway out of it.
Hell yeah. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, you can.
That's cool. Yeah. And
he holds up his wallet. That's like the only thing he can think of. Like holds up his wallet.
I say, hang on, I got this. And he grabs one of the CDs out of his set and just signs that and gives it to him.
And he's like, holy shit, hey guys, look at this. And the other was like, oh my God, you got, like, none of them seem to think that maybe they should also ask you for a signature, for an autograph. Like they're almost fighting over this CD, which gives you a perfect opportunity to kind of slide away and check your phone if you wanted to.
Yeah, I check my phone after I leave the green room.
Perfect. Now, I'm thinking here, do you have a specific name for Annabelle, the Primogen of the Toreador, on your phone? Have you saved her number?
Probably Queen Bee.
Queen Bee. That's from Queen Bee. And the text reads, one of our senior members is in town. I thought it might interest you. If you and your friends want to know more, I will be hosting a soiree at 5628 North Newark Avenue. Cocktail party, so dress appropriately.
I'll be. I text back. I'll be there with bells on.
It's received. No confirmation, of course. Annabelle's too cool to reply to a text. And
then fire out text to my buddies.
Yeah.
Yo, we got an invite. Let's meet at the club.
The esoteric. Yep. So that's the text you all receive.
Except for me, because I can't read it.
It's true. How do you deal with that? How are you going to solve it?
I would probably find somebody on the street that I could just play innocent to and be like, I would maybe affect my ability to speak German with a German accent and ask them to read it to me.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, they read it out for you. Yo, we have basically what Seb wrote to you.
Since I would assume that Seb would not put something kindred related in the text.
Please, it's a Ventrue. He would never.
Well, you know them.
Yeah, that's right. You remember your point distribution for disciplines now. So yeah, you find someone to help you out, and they read it for you, no problem.
Wonderful.
So you all meet up at the esoteric. It's not too late in the evening. It's maybe 10:30 at this point, and you arrive. Seb, where are you waiting for the others? Are you still DJing, or are you?
No, he's probably just on the edge of the dance floor, kind of just inside the entrance.
Yeah. All right. So you spot them. Now, how quickly do the three of you actually head over here?
Very quickly.
Same.
Right away. Beeline.
Yep. I would say that Stanley, you're the first to arrive, followed by Marie, and then the last one would be
Julia, yes. Julia had to get the new makeup, had to get dressed. It took like some time. You can't just...
You can't force perfection. You can't rush perfection.
Exactly. You have to look like a work of art. Otherwise, it's an important person.
So you arrive. Stanley.
I arrive late, almost with Starbucks. Not
Yeah.
Starbucks, it's
No,
just a
but-
mug.
But roughly, yeah. Stanley, you arrive at this esoteric. It's not your kind of place, really, but thankfully the lighting is pretty bad in here. There's a lot of people, and you can convince your little beehive to, well, hornet hive rather, to keep calm for now. But there's a little bit of an angry buzzing inside because they're not too fond of the noise this club is making.
Don't blame them. I'll try to find Sebastian.
Yeah.
Is he like in the DJ booth? Or
No, he's probably in the shadows in a corner at this point. He's probably well aware that you're not going to want to be seen.
all right. I'll look around for him, and when I spot him, I'll head over to the shadows as well.
Yeah, he's not hiding.
Mhm.
So he just looks at you as you come up to him, like, we've got a lead.
Brilliant. Anything else I should know?
At this point, we're on the same page. So,
All we have is just the lead is what is the lead?
it's a party.
Party.
Friend Annabelle. I'll fill all the others in when they get here.
Right.
But
That'll be difficult. At least for me. You should do fine.
Can you not like doll up?
It doesn't go well. I tend to be a bit of a buzzkill. I had to make that pun. I can't help it.
I love it. Thank you. Thank you.
You're the worst.
I know.
Or the
Well,
buzzed.
I can keep them quiet, but I can't make too many promises. I'll just keep my head down, stay in the shadows, try not to
Yeah.
get involved.
I don't know how happy Queen Bee will be about lurkers, but I guess
Well, if she wants to talk to me, she's welcome to come over.
I don't even know if you'll be allowed inside, to be honest.
I mean, they'll have to know I snuck in, or something like that. I mean,
Yeah. We'll get you a white shirt and a bow tie, and you can pretend to be stuff.
all right.
You do know, Seb, that Annabelle is a stickler for formal attire, and when she says cocktail, she's just not saying that. But again, if you get him a shirt and a bow tie, he might be able to pass for staff. Marie, you arrive.
Good evening, Seb. Have a good set.
I did, actually.
I
How
bet.
are you?
I'm lovely, darling. Hi, Stanley. How are the
Hello.
bees this evening?
They're wonderful, and I'm just going to let them crawl across my face again.
I love that. I am very fascinated with that. You'll have to explain that to me sometime.
I
So
will.
what is this text message? You know I don't like text messages, Seb. What is it?
Yeah, I do. So, we're going to a party. I mean, what you've got on might do. We'll
Party
see.
for who?
You know Annabelle?
I have no idea. Do I know Annabelle?
That really depends. Have you been visiting Elysium since you're?
Yeah, probably. It's how I met Seb.
You've probably seen Annabelle a few times,
But I don't think I would know her.
No, you can. She's actually actively avoided talking to you. She's a bit of a social butterfly, but it's just something about your clan she doesn't like.
Great. Yes, I've heard of Annabelle. And you say this is only modularly okay to wear to her party.
Well, you know the kind of gaps that she normally has on.
Yes.
Yeah,
Wow.
so
I left my ball gown and not in Chicago, so this will have to do.
well, I've got some spare stuff in the back. I mean,
Fine. But I'll keep my sunglasses on if that's all right with you.
I'd prefer not to make eye contact. That's fine.
Something like that.
It's a suit, by the way, if you're okay with that.
A suit? No, I'll stick with my dress. Thank you very much. Might not be what's in Milan right now, but I'm sure it's presentable enough for Annabelle.
Indeed. And just as Marie says that, Giulia arrives as well, holding a Starbucks coffee cup for some reason.
Where's your trash? Hi.
It's here, and I point at Marie. Hey, how's it going?
Hand the cup to Marie. Hi. Hello.
I don't take the cup, by the way. I do not take it.
I look at her a little bit like.
I look back.
I'm gonna send some wasps to go and crawl around the lid of the cup.
Oh, don't do that, please.
Do that, Stanley. That was excellent.
I'll recall the wasps.
Can't hear you.
I had to
Oh, there we
get a little bit prettier.
No, it was.
This because it sounded important.
Well, it is. You made the right call, I guess. Annabelle wants us to go to a party at a place that I didn't write down, but I will check my phone.
Kids, so you're a little bit quiet, I think, so you might want to speak closer to
I
the
am?
microphone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Come here, microphone.
I can read the text for you all again, if you want.
Mm-hmm.
It says, let me see here. One of our senior members is in town. I thought it might interest you. If you and your friends want to know more, I will be hosting a soiree at the 5628 North Newark Avenue. Cocktail party, so dress appropriately.
Say when?
Tonight,
Tonight.
presumably. Yeah.
Oh, tonight. Well, then let's go. What are we waiting for?
I'm going to change, but that'll take like 2 seconds. It's fine.
Is she dressed appropriately for a cocktail party?
Cocktail is...
Pretty sure a
gown,
little
right?
black dress is perfectly appropriate for a
Yeah,
cocktail party.
Knee-length dress, yeah, for sure.
Well, yeah.
I've got some spare makeup. If you would like some lipstick and stuff.
No, thank
Honestly,
you.
I might have more use for that than Marie.
I think
no,
you look
honey,
excellent,
I don't think I
Stanley.
can do much about your face. I'm very sorry.
I like your
But,
face, Stanley.
I'll go get us a taxi then.
Yeah, all right, we'll meet out front in like 5.
All right.
So you head in a taxi after some of you getting changed, and you head to what is called the Stanley Greer House, coincidentally, which is it's a lavishly decorated building in a posh North Chicago neighborhood. It's a pretty big park area around it, and it's certainly one of those hoity-toity places that it stands out. It's an older building. It's almost a mansion now that you look at it, and there are 2 security guards at the door. It has that, turnaround with the parking lot with a fountain in the middle. You know the type, yeah. And as you approach the door, the guards kind of look you over. Notice Stanley. Sorry, folks. This is invitation only.
We've been invited.
All right. Well, then you would know that this is a cocktail party. You would dress appropriately, sir.
Trust me when I say this is... Cocktail attire does not suit me.
Then I'm afraid this party is not suiting you either, sir.
Come on, there's
All
got to
right.
be...
No, you head in. I have an idea.
Famous last words.
Did you say that out loud?
Yeah, I'm going to say that to him out loud.
Okay.
Then I'm going to just go slink off into an alleyway nearby.
The guards kind of look at you.
He's gonna get something else to dress in. I'm sure
All
that's
right.
what he meant.
I would
Right.
like Giulia to roll a manipulation subterfuge test, please. So subterfuge with manipulation.
Manipulate subterfuge. So I have to start with subterfuge, correct?
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
Okay. And there we go.
Oh, 5 successes. Beautiful.
Yeah, don't worry. It's
they look like they
it's
were on their way to
okay.
talking to their little beads, and the hand goes down and goes, well, all right, that's a weird way of saying that, but I guess
He's a little bit.
I mean, just look at
He's
him.
a good guy. He's a
Alright.
good guy. Don't
Yeah.
worry about it. He just looks a bit rough.
you can tell that these guards are in on the game, so to speak, because they saw Stanley's face and they didn't immediately freak out. So presumably they would be aware of your nature in some regard.
He's
They,
alright.
they're not. All right. Well, do you want to wait for your friend, or are you folks going in?
No, he'll come around when he gets the stuff. I think he might be going home to get something else or like getting. So I think we should head on in. What do you guys say?
Sure.
All right. You three head on in, and we'll get to what you're experiencing pretty soon. But I really want to do something with Stanley now. I want to know what the plan is.
Me too.
All right. Operation Beehive is a go.
How many
First, we're gonna
beehives do you have?
They're all named Operation Beehive.
That's fine.
First, I'm gonna start by sending 1 or 2 wasps just to buzz around them and bother them a bit.
Oh, the guards?
Yeah, but then I'm gonna start slowly trickling in more and more wasps.
Oh,
And
dear.
eventually they're gonna start to sting a bit.
All right.
And they're gonna try to drive the guards away from the door long enough for me to sneak inside.
These are your is it famulus? Famulus?
Yes, and
Yeah.
there are hundreds of them.
Oh my god. All right, so making them do that would that be the first or second level? Is it feral whispers, I believe, right?
It's a 3rd level animalism combined with protean.
That would be combined with protean
Or potence, or not It's combined with
you mean
obfuscate, yes.
unliving hive. Yeah, that's right.
Yes, unliving hive, sorry.
But that's yeah. But I think you still have to. Do you not have to roll to convince them to do something?
Let's see.
Maybe I'm wrong. I believe.
Let me see what the roll is. Let me pull up the rule book.
Page 246.
All right.
But since there are your famulus, I think it might not be let's say feral whispers.
Cost system, duration, passive. Okay. They do little damage in combat.
Yeah.
They have health of 5, a dice pool of 8 to resist attacks.
Yeah, I don't think you actually have to convince your famulus. I think that works on its own. So your hornets go to work. And you see like one of the guards going like this. Looking around. The other guard notices and like, the fuck? And like one of your brave little soldiers does get smashed, unfortunately, but the others get revenge.
It's for the greater good.
It's for the greater good. He died in service, or she died in service, I guess. And a couple of them get smacked, but the guards, they run down the stairs and they head over to the fountain. I guess they're gonna try to splash each other with water or something to get rid of the bees or hornets.
And I'm gonna slink through the door and then recall all my wasps.
Perfect. I'm actually gonna ask you to roll a dexterity stealth roll.
Hell yeah.
Anyway, but it's
do
not
it.
going to be
I'm
hard.
good at this.
Yeah. I say as you botch.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what happens every vampire game I play.
That is a 3 success roll. That is
Okay,
more than enough to get inside. So you make your way into
phew.
the soiree. Now, the 3 of you headed inside a little bit before Stanley. So let's see what you see. Annabelle is a Toreador, and she's an older Toreador. She's been in the city for a long time, and she knows how to party. There is... it's a nice mixture of decadence and... how would you say, not nobility, but certainly upper class, upper crust. There are waiters and waitresses walking around with trays filled with both food items and glasses of thick red, what one could presume be wine. Of course, it's not. There are plenty of people milling about. There's some faces familiar to you. Toreador, it's Ventrue, the odd other clan as well. You think that one might belong to the ministry, but you're not entirely sure. Sneaky bastard. And everyone is chatting away, having a good time. You get a couple of looks, of course, as you enter. And all around you, there are people dancing to music. There's plenty of rooms. So there's everything from like a ballroom to something kind of akin to the esoteric. Of course, not as good as the real thing. And something you do notice is that the few mortals moving around are obviously blood dolls. They're dressed provocatively. They're following their masters around. They're begging for the kiss. People are lying on pillows and cushions, making out, feeding. You see people dancing in various states of undress. It's typical Toreador stuff. There's, of course, art everywhere. This is the place Annabelle usually hosts her parties when it's not at one of the other Elysiums, like the Succubus Club. So many of her own creations. Some actually quite good, but a few of them very poseur, if you'd like to call it that. Giulia, you've seen better. Annabelle, maybe politically talented, but she's an amateur with a brush. You are greeted by another guard, another security guard as you enter. And he looks you over. He's dressed a little bit better than the ones outside.
I smile, charming.
Yeah, and he doesn't smile. He's stone-faced.
Hello.
Good evening. The mistress was expecting you, although she says you were to have arrived 15 minutes ago.
Oh.
She's on the upper floor.
We'll apologize when we get there.
Very well. If you will follow me, please. He looks over at Stanley, who just enters and raises an eyebrow, but doesn't say anything.
I made an exception.
Very
I'll
well.
just follow my friends.
Stanley gets a little bit of a colder reception than most of you. Marie, barring, of course. She's familiar. Most people in town know who she is. Although, interestingly, Marie, you do notice Sierra Bamburas chatting away with, you believe that's Bobby, a Ventrue.
Mm-hmm.
One of Loden's Chyler, if you're not entirely sure. I think Seb, you might even more recognize him. He's a kind of a nice guy, actually. Sierra looks up as you walk past Marie and she nods to you, holding up her glass.
I nod back.
Sister?
Mm-hmm.
She says. But then she goes back to her conversation. Stanley, if there's something you can say about the company of Kindred, it is that at least some of them are tolerant enough to look past the outer shell. A few of them, most of the younger Kindred, kind of wrinkle their noses and look at you in disgust, but some of the ones who are probably older don't even seem to care.
All right.
Do you head upstairs following
Yes,
the guard?
I'm following my friends.
Mm-hmm. You head upstairs, and immediately the music goes quiet from downstairs. The milling and people, it's almost as if the upper floor has been soundproofed. It is a fairly old building. You would say it's been around probably at least 100 years. Have been built after the Great Fire of Chicago in 1870 something. I think it was around that time, 1890 perhaps. You're not historians, but this place it's got history. You see some older paintings, previous owners, silverware, things like that. And the guard leads you into a rather large office-looking room. But where there would be a desk, you see this divan, I think it's called, if I pronounce it correctly, the one you recline on. And reclining on it is Annabelle. she's looking bored, and you see 3 mortals surrounding her, like sitting on their knees or leaning up against the divan, and one of them is holding out her arm, and you see Annabelle is just slightly grazing one of her fangs along a vein, and the blood wells up, and she licks it off, and the wound closes. And then another holds out her arm, and Annabelle continues, does the same thing. And obviously this is something they're used to, but the blood dolls they look like they're in heaven. They're enjoying it. Sebastian, how good to see you. And you brought your friends with you as well.
Yeah, I thought they would be very interested in what you had to say, so thank you for inviting us.
Of course.
I'm sorry we're so late, but we had to bring the proper attire.
Don't worry about it. I kept myself busy.
I can see.
You go first.
Sorry?
You go first.
No, I was just saying one thing.
What a wonderful party. Thank you for
so
having
much.
us. The artwork is amazing downstairs. Did you
thank you. I'm not familiar. Are you... Oh, yes. You're Giulia. Yes, you arrived from Europe not too long ago. Is that correct?
Yes. It is
One
so
of the
good
roses.
to see different styles.
It's such a delight to see you. How is the old country?
You as well. Oh, well, you know, a little bit calmer these days, I was going to say, but
that's good to hear.
they keep us on our toes up there as well.
Thank you very much for your kind words about my art. Perhaps we could exchange tips and tricks at some point. I would be delighted to learn what arts you're a master of.
Absolutely.
Brilliant. And Marie.
Annabelle, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you. You're doing well, I hope. Chicago's weather treating you well?
Quite well.
Brilliant. And who is this?
Hi,
Hello.
the name's Stanley.
A pleasure to meet you, Stanley. Who is your sire?
That's my business.
Of course. Sorry, I'm very sorry. Just professional curiosity. I'm sure he's skulking around somewhere in a sewer or another. I'm so glad that you could make it here tonight. I'm not entirely sure how much you could infer from my message I sent you earlier, but I'm well aware what your interests are, Sebastian. You've made it perfectly clear previously that you're in pursuit of, I guess mentor would not be the correct word, but you are in pursuit of knowledge, correct?
Yeah, I think we all are.
Yes.
But you know my beef, so I guess, yeah, that's why I came to a Toreador.
Of course. Then perhaps it might shock you to know that it's not actually me you're coming to. I'm representing currently. Prince Jackson wanted me to tell you that while he can't officially help you, he's very interested in letting you in from the cold at some point if you do him a favor. Of course, this would be under the table. If you ever were to say this to anyone else without his explicit permission, he will deny it, and I'm quite sure that Ballard and all the others of your clan will more likely believe your prince, or our prince.
Yeah, well, quite honestly, if anyone was to ask whether I was doing a favor for one of Lodin's kids, I would deny it as well.
Oh, they do breed like rats, don't they?
Yeah.
Well, incidentally, your interests and the prince's coincide at the moment, and so, fortunately, do mine. Are you aware of a little gathering called the Black Roses?
I hear the word rose and I just look to Giulia Like, that's your thing, right?
I suppose, is it? I don't
You're
think I
not.
recall
No, you're
that.
not familiar with it. Actually, you've never heard of
I
it.
don't think
Would it be
so.
a? Would it be a? Some strange reference to Toreador anti-tribu, perhaps? Who
I
can tell?
wonder. We can look into it if you.
Sebastian, you can actually, if you want to see if you know what they are, because I think Sebastian, you would be the only one who would know.
Oh.
You may roll intelligence occult.
Oh no.
It's a very Chicago-based event. Actually, Marie, you may roll as well.
I was wondering if you were going to ask me.
Intelligence occult.
And occult.
Yes.
Intelligence and occult. That's my best dice pool.
Mine too.
I got one success.
One
It's better
success.
than I thought I was going to do.
It's not familiar to you. However...
1 second.
Yes, of course. I hope the overlay is working properly so everyone can see.
4 successes.
4 successes. Sebastian, you've not noticed this, but Marie, the word is familiar, but you're not entirely sure what it is, but you've heard rumors. The Black Roses are a gathering of kindred, anonymous, all of them, meeting once a year in different cities in the United States, celebrating the new year in a spectacular way. Even for vampires, very decadent, almost forbidden. Very secretive, of course, it's invitation only. But you do know that whenever they show up in a city, people tend to disappear. Not people that matter, of course, but people.
If I may speak, Annabelle, I have heard of these black roses.
You have?
I don't. I do hear things on occasion.
How
but
surprising that a Lasombra would know what the black roses are.
Is it?
Not really, no. But you continue.
Yes, sarcasm. I don't know very much about them. Like I am quite young, I suppose, especially to someone of your station. But I do know that when they appear for their celebrations, people tend to disappear. Mortals or kindred, I'm not certain, but that is what I've heard.
What you've heard correct.
Thin bloods.
Yes, Stanley. Good conclusion. Thin bloods. The Black Roses have a reputation of forbidden tastes. They've yet to be stopped because their meetings are often clandestine, secret, invitation only. And honestly, thin bloods are rarely a top priority for any prince in a Camarilla city. And the Anarchs, well, if the Anarchs were to manage to rule their city, then I'm sure they would be upset by this disappearance. Our prince apparently has so little on his agenda that he seems to find this important enough for his notice. As you've no doubt noticed, some Thinbloods have been disappearing from the city. Yes, you may be surprised that the prince keeps track on it, but he knows at least some faces. And as you also know, the Black Roses hold their special parties at the end of the year, and it would turn out that this year it is in Chicago. I would almost say I'm honored that our great city, the crown jewel of the Camarilla, play host to such a grandiose festivity, but it is disgusting. And even more important, it is forbidden to drink the blood of our kind, thin blood or not. The prince would have you, at best, disrupt these festivities, or at least ensure that our precious masquerade remains intact for the event. Now, she snaps her finger, and the security guard takes out a little envelope from his chest pocket and hands it over to whoever wants it.
I'll take it.
And I will need to look over my storyteller screen because I don't see anything, because it is time for you to get the little message. There we go. It is now in the Discord chat. And whoever wants to read it out loud may do so.
I vote for Seb.
I do too.
Wow, you're all snubbing me tonight. I offer it to him.
All right, then. Dearest club member, we would be delighted to see you at the annual Evening of the Flesh this coming month. We, the Black Rose, will be arranging the meetup this year and can truly say it will be even bigger, even better, and even more interesting than in years prior. We have special play toys we cannot wait for you to get your hands on, and I am sure they will happily oblige your every desire. If not, we will make them, like we always do. Per our code, this event must stay strictly confidential. We wouldn't want any disturbances to ruin our night. No one could forget last year's slip-up. This year's theme will be the blood, so please dress accordingly. Think of something that reminds you of what gives you life. Perhaps a red dress, maybe a burgundy tie. Even shoes count, as long as your appearance channels that which we all burn for. The guests this year will be young, so please be on your best behavior. And we don't want to scare the poor things, at least not until we reach the end of our little ordeal. After all, they are not used to the ways of our club. Still, they did not earn their blood and make better meals than anything else. Remember, you can always bring a +1, but make sure this individual is ready for all the fun controversies we'll be embarking upon. More importantly, they will have to keep quiet. We don't want a certain royalty to hear about our games. We look forward to seeing you, the Black Roses.
This invitation is from last year.
What a shame, I have a red dress.
I have some red shoes. Seems like these assholes have my friends.
Perhaps they do.
You have friends?
I was going to say the same thing.
Please.
Joking.
Obviously.
Of course he does. Have you seen his deeds?
This invitation is from Milwaukee. How I got my hands on it is not important. But it is important to point out that they will be hosting in Chicago this year. The only person I know connected to them is a woman named Karin Stanislava. She's a rose, like you and me, Giulia. Karin Stanislava. However, she is very adept at hiding. And even more so, we, as you can probably understand, do not want to be too obvious about our interests. The prince is not at liberty to say, or I believe he does not even know, who in the city will be attending. And as you are quite aware, this city has quite a host of rather influential and powerful kindred. It would be problematic to disturb the balance by so heavy-handedly interrupting these festivities. Hence, why he is going through you, Sebastian, the black sheep of the family. Oh, I'm terribly sorry I let that slip.
Thanks.
Of course.
I'm sure it was an accident.
Of course it was. If you do this for the prince, if you find out who's attending, if you either stop the event or at least contain it, and most especially find out who this... Oh, I didn't even say that. Yes, why I contacted you. There is a rumor of a very powerful, very old kindred of the old country visiting. I have it on good authority that they will, but, well, they're very adept at keeping their identity secret. Now, if you find out all this information, the prince will owe you a very big boon. Not just you, Sebastian, of course, but the rest of your coterie as well. And the prince is a very powerful man. Of course, there's a problem. We don't have an invitation. We don't know where the party will be. We don't know what the dress code will be. And honestly, we don't really know when it will be. Perhaps they will start tomorrow, perhaps they have already started. But we do know, as your Nosferatue reminded us, that some thin bloods have already gone missing. If I were to recommend what to do, I would suggest you start by trying to find them. Or at least find the people who took them.
As long as this elder isn't part of the guest list, I am very happy to help. So, yeah.
Of course. Do you have any questions?
None.
Oh, that's very good.
I have a question.
Of course, Marie. How can I help you?
Besides using our young friend Stanley here, do you have any other suggestions where thin bloods might populate? I'm afraid I'm not running their circles.
Oh, well. Are you implying that I would?
I'm implying that you know a great deal more than I.
Well, like rats, they can most often be found where you least want them.
Mm-hmm.
So, I would recommend that you search amongst the destitute and the outcast of the city. I have heard that the Red Number 5 is being run, or at least operated by is he a K-Tiff or a Thin Blood? I really don't know the difference, to be honest.
Same.
Well, that's something we have in common.
Fancy that.
That's where I would recommend you start. But perhaps your friend Stanley has some contacts he can call upon.
Some friends of mine are laying low right now.
I see.
I can find them. Perhaps we could find someone who's looking for them as well.
Perhaps. If that is all, I have guests to return to. But I must say, it's been a pleasure. I'm very happy that you could be so agreeable with the prince's request.
Well,
Of
when the
course.
prince owes, at least he pays his debts.
I
I don't suppose the invitation to this party extends to the ones downstairs, does it?
to the party to the Black Roses?
No,
No.
to your party, the wonderful soiree you're holding. Are we allowed with the
Oh, certainly.
creme de la creme?
You can spend the evening here if you want, of course. Although if they want to spend the evening with you, that's their prerogative. Everyone is welcome. Well, I must say I'm a little bit disappointed in your outfits. When I said cocktail party, I expected something a little bit more fancy, but, well, you use what you have. You make do.
All set.
Yep.
Go right ahead.
Yes, Seb, let's go have a party.
Thanks. Yeah, I go downstairs and I look around the room.
I follow behind him. Although I don't particularly like him, I do know he's much more influential and knowledgeable than I. I like to shadow him. Ha ha ha.
And I will stick to the shadows. Speaking of shadowing, I do not want to ruin his chances of getting useful information.
That's perfect. You have a Lasombra generating shadow that you can hide inside.
I stick behind just enough to tank her. And I'm like, well, whenever you've got the time and the wish, we can totally see to have a little look at the painting studio and maybe try a couple of things.
Thank you, Giulia. That's very kind of you. I'm a very busy woman, but I'm sure I can make room in my schedule for you.
That would be so wonderful.
Thank you.
I
very
look
much.
forward to it. But
Me too. Do you
till
have any
next time.
pieces you've made
Yeah?
that you can show?
If I have a what?
Do you have any pieces you've made to show?
Oh, I've got. Yes, I do. Would you like me to send them some to you?
Oh, that would be delightful.
I've got a little bit of a portfolio thing. I wasn't thinking it would come in handy today, however, so I don't have it with me. But I can have it delivered in mail.
Oh, certainly. That would be delightful.
Thank you. And till next time.
Till next time. She waves you off.
It was a pleasure. And I go. My smile fades as soon as I'm
Yeah, of course.
Not good
Hers
enough
too,
dress.
surprisingly.
I'm just like, not good enough dresses. I'll show her next time. Bitch.
I'm sure you will.
She is the queen bee for a reason. Stanley, you realize that you have received a text while you were talking to the queen bee. Do you hear me? Oh, sorry. It's from Ben, actually. And it's his... Well, it's... You would presume it's his... whatever he saw. The restless ones was taken to the place where the Russian met his match, beneath the Temple of Lada. The restless one was taken to the place where the Russian met his match, beneath the Temple of Lada. Then he sends you like, do you have any idea what this means?
None.
All right. He sends out like...
Say that last part again. Or are you saying this aloud?
Yeah. Are you reading out loud?
Yes.
Beneath the Temple of Lada.
Temple of Lada. Does that ring any bells?
The Russian.
If everyone is
Marie.
listening to this... Oh, sorry.
Marie, would you
Yes.
happen to know anything of a Russian?
Russian?
Yes.
Annabelle did say some Slavic name that I don't remember.
Karin Stanislava.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Met his match.
That is the extent of my Russian.
If you want to, those of you who lived in Chicago in the last year may roll a wits plus streetwise.
Okay, I'm actually good at that. Let's do it.
Or int occult as well. Anyone can roll an int occult to find out who the Temple of Lada might be. Wits streetwise to see if you remember.
Yeah, I ask if Maria
For
knows
successes.
anything about a temple, because obviously she's into unsavory stuff.
You ask me?
Yeah, you're the one with the dark past.
That's a normal
What
failure.
would you know about my past?
It's more than I want to, honestly.
I'm sure. You
Anyway,
know
I
what
failed.
you
I know
think.
nothing.
What was it? Occult and what?
Occult, intelligence occult.
Intelligence.
Yeah. You rolled 4 successes, right, Stanley?
I did.
How many dice do you have left from that dice pool?
I have a hunger die I failed. And there's one non-hunger die that I
Okay.
could re-roll.
So 4 is not enough successes, but you may be able to achieve a success if you...
I'll spend a willpower to re-roll
Yeah.
that single thing.
All right. Don't you get to re-roll the hunger die, but as a normal die as well? No. Okay,
No, you can't.
No, you
reroll
can't re-roll hunger
dice.
Okay.
So I'll just roll a rouse
Yeah.
then, because that's 1 die.
All right. That is a success. A
5.
rousing
Hello.
success even. Hadi, what did you roll? Did you get
I
3
rolled 3.
All right. Perfect. We'll start with Marie's roll and then Stanley's. Marie, the Russian. That, or actually, no, sorry, rather, Temple of Lada. Lada, you seem to recall reading about Lada during one of your earlier times studying Wikipedia. You were reading up on different religions and faiths and things like that. Lada is a Slavic goddess of beauty and fertility. Old, very like pre-Christian, you believe. So a temple of Lada would be a temple to a goddess of beauty and fertility. Stanley, the Russian,
Yes.
you recall not too long ago that 2 delegates, like you heard this through the grapevine, sorry. Well, could have been wine as well.
Yes.
You heard this through the grapevine that one of the delegates that arrived from some hoity-toity groups anyway. There was a lot of commotion around this. There was some fighting, there were car chases, burning vehicles, things like that. You recall that one of them was a Russian, and he didn't make it through the events. You were not actually there when he was executed. He was burned alive, well, undead, but he was burned. You do know that. But he was Russian. And you think maybe he was tracked down someplace, like some seedy place. That's all you know. You don't really know where that would be. Sorry.
I'm not sure where this Russian met his end, but I do know that this Russian was a delegate who was burned, executed,
Delegate
tracked
of
down to
who?
some seedy place and met the final death.
Oh, damn. Delegate of what, though?
My guess would be at least probably the Lasombra. They're relatively new around here.
Because
It only makes sense.
You lot turned up recently and caused a commotion.
Uh-huh.
I don't suppose you know who that is. That lady waved to you earlier? She got anything to do with it?
I'm afraid I don't know very many Lasombra, Seb. Can't help you.
I find that difficult to believe.
I'm sure you do. If you want to ask her, she's still over there with one of Loden's childer? Bobby, was it?
Bobby Fairweather, yeah.
Mm.
He's a hacker.
I'll be right behind you if you're nervous.
Here, I'll be there too. I hook around your elbow like I'm asking.
Can give her style tips.
Thank you, Giulia.
I'll be here. Just don't worry about it. It's going to be okay.
Great. Just don't stand directly behind me, okay, Marie?
Sure.
It doesn't give off the right vibe.
So,
Sure.
Seb, you vogue over to Sierra Van Buren. Now you head over there. She's still talking to Bobby, yeah. He kind of looks up, and he doesn't actually scowl when he sees you. He's not too deep into politics. He's actually a Nosferatu friend. Like, he doesn't know you, Stanley, but you do know that he's been mentioned occasionally. This guy's pretty good with computers. But he doesn't say anything. Like, obviously, you're wanting to talk to Sierra, and she turns around, and she's kind of she's a pretty short woman, but she's got this gravitas that makes her feel much taller. She's East Asian, possibly Japanese, dressed in a very beautiful silk gown for the evening. Probably cost more than all your clothes together. And
Hey!
well, maybe not Giulia's, but the rest of yours.
Yeah.
And she actually seems a little bit surprised that you would walk up to her, but she spots Marie and just goes, "Good evening. How can I help you?"
Hi.
Your gun is so pretty.
Oh, thank you. Yours too. Thank you so much. I had
this old thing.
I had it custom made to celebrate New Year's, and I got mixed plans, so I'm wearing it now instead.
Oh, well.
You're celebrating New Year's.
Soon, yeah.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
I don't know how many kindred around here actually still observe holidays like that.
Well, it's been a very eventful year. Lots of changes, so I figured, why not welcome the new decade with a bit of a bang, right?
Definitely. You've got a big achievement to celebrate, right?
Are you?
Well, you and your clan.
Oh yes.
In good with Cam.
Of course, you meant that. Well, yes, it certainly is a big achievement. The Lasombra are still, of course, joining. We're still working out the details, but it certainly is a red letter year, I guess you could call it. I'm very happy with the results.
So I'm sorry if I come off a little rude, but I'm so interested in your story. It's inspirational for a lot of kindred.
Oh yes, well, thank you. That's the first time I've heard it put that way.
Well, I know getting rid of elders isn't normally looked upon particularly well, but has turned around a bit for you, right?
It's a necessary evil. There
Sure.
are members of that sect who were a little too far gone, so to speak. Clan Lasombra has always been about coming out on top, if you don't mind me speaking frankly, and the cards were stacked against the Sword of Cain, so to speak, and we could tell where the wind was blowing.
Yeah. Seb starts to flirt a little, and he's just like, yeah, I know what you mean. Coming out on top is always a good thing.
Well, you can go ahead and roll for that if you want.
I would love
she looks a little
to.
amused, but go ahead and roll.
+1 for beautiful, obviously.
Of course.
But what would you like me to roll?
I would say charisma for this one, right? It's not manipulation, is it?
That would make sense.
Charisma.
Depends on how you look at it.
Persuasion.
Okay, good.
I'm sure you're not very good at those things, correct?
I'm okay. I could be worse.
What's your dice pool? 8?
No, it's not that high in this case. Although I
Oh.
could make it 7, I think.
You can certainly try boosting it if you want.
Yeah, if I. No, I'm not gonna spend the blood, but I do wanna. Oh, 2 successes.
Ooh, 2
Oh,
successes.
not a lot. Can I?
I mean, she's
Are you going to
not-
spend a willpower to flirt more?
I kind of want to.
Go right ahead.
Is it because she's a Lasombra? Is that what it is?
I can try to help, maybe.
No, I'm
that
not.
mean?
That really depends. Like, that's a gamble, I would say.
I mean,
I feel like moving to assist in flirtation is not a good call.
Mm-mm.
Well,
maybe
it could
not.
either end up really good or really bad.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. Both ways would be really hilarious.
Depends- yeah.
Oh,
Depends on how many
absolutely.
people you want involved.
You can actually, Julia, if you want to be a good
Yeah.
wingman, then you can do that. That's entirely up to you. It's role playing.
yes, absolutely.
I would like to take one giant step back if she's going to help flirt. If you're gonna gang up on this woman.
You like
no,
slide
I
backwards
just-
into the shadows.
I'm gonna do the slide. Yeah,
I
the
will
electric
too. I
slide
know my
backwards.
appearance won't help.
Only thing. So what I do is I just like I chuckle and I like squeeze his hand and go like, that was a little bit bold. You got to do it a little bit more gently, you know.
You're
I
very
winked to
quiet, by
her.
the way. Sorry, you have to be closer to the microphone.
Oh,
Go ahead.
I like I grab him. I like squeeze his arm because I'm still holding on there, and I go like, oh, that was a little bit bold, honey. You got to do it a little bit finer. And then I wink to her.
Right. Roll manipulation. What would this be? Subterfuge? I don't know.
The wing woman roll.
Actually, you know what? Roll charisma manipulation.
Okay,
Yeah, I feel like that would be completely like how.
trying to find it. Hold on.
No, those are your attributes. So you
Okay,
just press one
right,
of them
so-
and then select the other one. Yeah. Charisma manipulation.
So I press them. Sorry.
Yeah, you press one of them and then just
Charisma.
add from the drop-down bar the other trait.
Charisma manipulation. There we
Yeah.
go. Found it. We're good.
Perfect. Go ahead and roll. 3 successes. It's not
I
too
mean,
bad.
it's a collective 5. That's okay, right?
That's true. That's true. Sierra,
Hey,
she's
high
kind
five.
of into it. Like
Oh my God.
she likes it. Like she laughs a little bit at it, like, well, wow, you folks are pretty forward. But I just kind of lost track of thought here. Well, we were talking about coming out on top. That's right. Yeah. Well, are you busy New Year's? Cause I got a party canceled, so if you want to ring in the new year.
Who on earth would cancel on you? They must be mad.
Oh,
Yeah.
please. You know my clan's reputation. I got a lot of work to do before I'm going to be on the top 10 list.
Yeah, if you're going to be available New Year's, sure.
All right. Well,
That sounds great.
let's call it a date. I'm glad.
Let's.
Not a lot of people would talk to me, even less want me at a New Year's party.
Well,
She kind of glances at Maria like, you get it, right?
we're kind of in a similar situation.
Oh, well, birds of a feather, I guess.
Mm.
Yep. So, wow. Great.
So,
Bobby looks a little bit jealous, actually.
I give him a sideways look like, didn't work fast enough. That's your fault.
He just shakes his head. He knows when he's beat.
So we wanted to ask about
Yeah,
Russian, right?
Well, can I jump in there? When she says somebody canceled on her on New Year's, can I do one large step back from the flirting and echo it and echo the, well, Sierra, who on earth, he's right, who on earth would want to cancel on you? You are.
Are you trying
like-
to out-flirt the Ventrue?
No.
Oh, okay.
My God, no.
No, I was meeting up with...
Genuinely.
Oh, right. Well, I was meeting up with some other from the clan, but my sire Tally is going to be out of the city, and the others not that interested in ringing in the New Year's, I guess. Like, did you say that out loud? By the way, out of character, that about the whole celebrating New Year's not being a thing. Seb.
That was Seb, is that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was part of the
Oh yeah, the whole.
the preamble.
She goes,
to that.
well,
Preamble.
just like you said, not a lot of kindred are interested in celebrating New Year's, but
there are some, and these some disinvited you to their soiree, is what you're saying.
I wouldn't really call it a soiree. It was more of a bar round, I guess you could call it. Figured I'd see Chicago's nightlife.
Okay.
Oh, that's something I can help you with sometimes.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, no worries. I mean, new things are happening, changes are happening. Changes are
course.
not always bad, so might as well, why not?
Thank you.
Well, Sierra, if you do hear about any other New Year celebrations, you should definitely get Seb's number and text him about it immediately.
Oh, yes, of course. Of course.
I'm sure he'd love to take you.
I just scribble my number on a little piece of paper and hand it over.
Yeah,
Like-
she takes it.
In beautiful flowing writing, it just says Seb XX under it.
She takes out a small, a little metal container and takes out 2 of her business cards and hand them 4. She gives them to all 4 of you. She's very diplomatic.
I bow slightly and thank her and take it with both hands.
You, of course, Giulia, having been hotel surfing in Chicago, recognize that Sierra Van Buren is using a hotel chain, Hotel Yama, I believe it's called.
Diamond Jammer?
Diamond Yama, that's the one.
That's the one I heard of.
Apparently, thank you very much for that reminder. Apparently, she's somehow connected to the Diamond Yama, which is a very, very fancy hotel in Chicago.
Is that what the business card's for?
Yes, it is. And I'll go spreading those around. I don't have a lot of those cards.
Oh, no worries. Thank you. This is a very pretty place. I've heard of this.
It's one of my families.
Oh my goodness.
Well, you're
Thank
quite welcome
you.
to come by at some point. If we do
Thank
end up
you.
celebrating.
Thank you.
She just notices Stanley again. Like, oh yes, you're here too. But she doesn't say that. Like, that's the expression you get. It's like, oh yeah, you too, I guess. But I was sorry. I'm really sorry to cut our conversation short. Was there anything else? Because Bobby here was telling me about ways to upgrade the IT security of my hotels.
Oh, that's a really good thing to do.
Yeah.
We
Have you seen The Great Hack, by the way, recently released? Saw it on Netflix. It's kind of scary how much information they have on you. Really.
I have. Oh my gosh, yeah. It's awful.
Yeah.
Should I get rid of my phone? Like,
I don't think there's any use in it now. Like, if you have Facebook, they got 5,000 data points on you already.
I used to have Facebook.
Yeah. Oh, that's probably smart. I still keep up an account. It's a public official one, so it's not like I need to look that over. But was there anything else I can help you with?
No, I was just wondering, out of interest, if you know any Russians. Like my friend Stan here was looking for someone specific. Was it
Russians?
Yeah, so Russian Lasombra.
You're not talking about Malenkov, are you?
I may be. Tell me a bit about him.
What's there to say? He's dead and buried.
Where did he die?
Oh gosh.
He was burned to death a couple of months ago.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where?
It was close to Lake Michigan, I think. But why? They just built a pyre there.
No reason.
All right. Well,
That's
now I'm curious.
awful.
That's a very specific question to ask. Why are you asking about him?
A friend of mine was curious about what the fire was, the pyre. He saw it and was unsure.
Well, I assumed it was an open event. Almost the entire Camarilla in the city was there to witness it. I believe there was a vote held as well about my clan's acceptance. It was done on the beach, I believe.
Brilliant. Thank you for the information.
Of course. For whatever reason your friend wants to know, he was a pretty terrible man. No big loss, really.
Just like Seb, the Lasombra, our clan being here again in Chicago is just fascinating all the way around.
All right. Well, I'm really sorry. Thank you, and I'll get in touch with you about New Year's. How about I text you tomorrow about the eventual celebrations?
Yeah, sure. That's really exciting. It's been enchanting to meet you.
Of course. Thank you. I the same. Of course. It was very nice.
Have a nice evening.
Yeah. You too.
Good luck with the IT situation.
Thank you. Bobby kind of just hovers around. As soon as you start leaving, it gets closer. So what you need to get is like a VPN, all right? Like he starts talking about that stuff.
Sponsored by Nord.
I wish. That's sweet sponsorship money.
Best transition.
But yeah, sorry.
I need to tell Seb, what was it? The Temple of Ladan?
Luda. No, Lada.
Lada. And to tell him, while you were flirting, I had a moment to think, because I definitely didn't want to listen and or watch that. The Temple of Lada, something to do with a Slavic goddess or deity of love and beauty. That's what I know of it anyway, in case you're interested.
Beauty and fertility, actually. But that's really good.
The expert has corrected me. Beauty and fertility, then. I'm sure you saw it in a painting.
You know, you should really work on your attitude a little.
I'll get right on it.
It's very unbecoming. Yeah, you do that.
I will. Does that mean anything to you, Seb?
Me? There's not a lot of room for gods that aren't Jesus here in America, so like,
Right.
not really. Can I like think of any physical locations that are
Certainly.
dedicated to the person?
You can roll wits. Actually, what would you roll? What would you like to roll for this? If you have any suggestions.
Well, streetwise might make sense, or perhaps politics.
I think streetwise is an appropriate roll for this. Wits streetwise, because it requires a little bit of creativity.
Okay. Oh, creativity. That's not good. This is a really small dice pool, so I am going to do a rouse check to add another dice to this.
Go right ahead.
Whew.
That's a rousing success. That is something, by the way, I'm going to tell Huddy and Kitsu, that if you want to increase your chances of success, you can raise one of your attributes by
Right,
one.
with a rouse check, right?
Exactly, you got it just right. So you make a rouse check, you might get hungrier, but you get one extra die. And that's a 2 success. Everything you've been told so far, it might be a bit of a stretch, but the closest thing you'd have to a temple to a goddess of beauty and fertility is a good old-fashioned strip bar. as close as you can get.
I mean,
And you do recall, now that you mention it, that there was some talk about a fight at one of these strip bars in the city before Malenkov got disposed of. Not entirely sure where that was, though. The success is not enough to figure out the location.
Okay. Where I look to Stan and I'm like, where was it you got this la-di-doo-dah thing?
Yes, Stanley, the la-di-doo-dah thing.
Mm.
It was by where the Russian bit the dust, right? So it's got to be
But
near the beach.
who did you get that from? Are
The
they
Russian?
Are they like no, the person who told you about the restless one at the Temple of Lada?
The person who sent you the text message.
Are they like a poet or a writer? They're a bit
Not
flowery.
exactly. They're reliable.
Well, do they use metaphors a lot? Because this sounds like a strip joint.
I would believe it. They're Malkavian.
oh, that explains a lot. All right, yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's probably a strip joint then, right?
Yeah.
Almost definitely.
Yeah. Well, and I explained there was a ruckus at a strip joint. Like, not that I go to them, obviously.
Of course not.
Yeah, well. But yeah, connected with the Russian, Malenkov.
Yeah.
So, who wants to go to a strip joint?
Hooray.
It'll be a first for me, but always try new things.
Me also.
There's quite a few in Chicago.
Oh, come on. You've never been to a strip bar before.
No.
Me?
Oh, we are making... Okay. All right. We're doing this. Let's go. Which one, though?
Yeah, I had no idea.
Well, they said it was... What was the exact text again?
I will read it for you again, of course.
Brilliant, thank you.
The restless one was taken to the place where the Russian met his match, beneath the Temple of Lada.
The Russian met his match, didn't necessarily say...
Unless it's a very dumb
maker.
pun, you know, with the fire and the light. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The match. Sorry, poor delivery.
So,
Thanks, honey.
under a strip joint...
I just got that.
But we need to find out which one. That's the problem.
Can we roll
the Russian
something?
met
Quite
his
a
match.
few.
Was there a fight?
Yes, I believe anyone can now. You can roll intelligence streetwise and
Okay.
and basically start going through like what strip clubs are there and stuff, and like you'll figure it out pretty soon. This is not going to be a difficult roll. So
Do I even have any streetwise? I have one.
could be politics as well. Politics can work.
I'm like, well, there's
For this
the
one.
honeybee. There's the
She's just gonna start naming all the strip clubs.
yeah.
We'll
my
be
God,
here
you can
all
all of them.
night.
Beerman,
She just
Rhino,
skips.
obviously.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
So anyone
I got a 3.
Yeah. 3 is enough to figure out, after a little bit of deduction, that there is one strip club that closed recently. Like you go through like news feeds and stuff like that, and roughly around the same time as Malenkov and Sierra arrived at Chicago, the Glory Pit, a black nightclub, what would you call it? Like an illegal strip club and underground. Sorry, it's called black in Sweden. An illegal underground gambling den, strip club, and brothel. It closed down, and apparently quite a few influential figures in the city were connected to it. It was a little bit of a 5 minutes of drama. People were being dragged on Twitter, and then everyone forgot about it. But that would certainly fit the bill.
Sounds like this brothel is, well, our next step.
Also sounds like they missed the opportunity to call it the Glory Hole as opposed to the Glory Pit, but it's neither here nor there.
I'm sure that was certainly not on purpose.
It might have been copyrighted somewhere else though, and they didn't want it.
Oh yes, I'm sure underground clubs are quite concerned with copyright.
It's on the west side of Chicago, in one of the seedier areas.
Well, we should get moving.
Who wants to call a cab?
I'll do it.
We should I don't know if the cab will know this underground club that's not... Is it still in work, like, usable?
You are able to discern the address of it as well. It is still closed. Oh. The owners apparently decided to cut their ties and run. Like, nobody's been able to figure out who owns the place.
So
Okay.
it's probably not a strip joint anymore then.
Oh, are you disappointed?
No.
No.
But
sorry.
But it's very easy to get into illegal stuff if you just kind of wave money around, right? You just say you're there
Absolutely.
for the thing, right? But
Well,
if it's something else,
we are dressed for the occasion then, I believe. Ish. Anyway.
yeah.
I guess we'll leave it to Seb and Juliana to throw your money around for us.
It's Giulia. Thank you.
Excuse
Anyway,
me.
yes. Okay, yeah, sure. We can do that, right? We can just go visit a friend that we haven't seen in a while and be very surprised that he's not here anymore.
There, so.
Yeah.
Well,
fine.
maybe we were looking for the actual strip joint.
Yeah. Sure. Not so flush with cash right now, but yeah.
They don't need to know that. It's okay.
Yeah. No, that's a good point. All right.
You make your way to the Glory Pit, this bastion of decadence. It's abandoned, the first thing you notice. There's some old pieces of police tape that's just barely hanging by with the scraps. This is a pretty bad neighborhood. And the Glory Pit is located, like, if you didn't know it was there, you would have missed it. It's a basement location. There's a heavy iron door, which is padlocked. There's a couple of very, very small windows. And in one of them, there's a little neon sign that's been turned off that says the Glory Pit. There is an alley that goes back somewhere around it. But yeah, this place has been closed for a while. Like, the walls are already covered in graffiti. Most of the cars in the area are either in a very poor condition or are just belongs to people you don't mess with. And something that does stand out a little bit, it's a pretty big white nondescript van, which seems completely untouched by anything. It looks like a rental, to be honest.
That's just parked outside of this club that is not occupied?
Apparently.
Well, that's certainly not suspicious.
Not at all.
Mm.
Why don't you just move a couple of? I don't think this is a place. Can you just? I told to the driver.
Mhm.
Can you leave us at the end of the street and we'll look?
Oh, yeah, sure. Are you folks sure you want to come here? Because this is not really. I mean, I'm not judging, but you folks have guns, right? Because
Oh, we can take care of ourselves.
We don't need
worry
them.
about it.
all right. Well, that'll be 1750.
Yeah, no worries. I'll cover it. Here you go.
I have no idea how much cab fare is in the U.S.
Way more than that.
All right. Well, all right. Let's say
In
let's say he meant
Chicago?
1,750.
Oh,
That's a little bit ridiculous.
No. He charges you the proper amount of money, and you get out of the car. Once again, my not being American is showing. So you get
You
out.
got me and Stanley to help you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's perfect. You step out. The street is pretty much abandoned. I would say it's maybe 1 o'clock in the morning at the moment. So still quite a bit left until sunrise, but night lights burning. Night lights waiting.
Moonlight.
Moonlight is burning.
Yes.
That's the one.
Should
does
we
any-
knock?
Yeah. Does anyone have an idea? Should we check out the van? Should we ignore the van? Seb, our gracious leader.
I'm not one to ever tell Giulia what to do, obviously, but
Oh, you're so sweet.
I'm gonna take a look at the van, because if there's anyone in there, I can just ask them what they.
If I may so suggest, I believe that, for example, we would stand out much more than hornets. Is there anything they can do for us? Stanley?
Yes. Sorry, my audio cut out for a bit.
Okay, I believe we will stand out much more looking around than hornets would. Wouldn't you say, Stanley? Is there something
I would
that
agree.
you can ask us to?
Operation
something for us.
Beehive 2 shall commence.
What was the
Beehive
first
bee?
beehive?
The first beehive was when I
Getting into
coaxed away
Annabelle's
the
party.
security guards.
Oh
Oh.
God.
Oh yeah, well, yeah. Do you
Well-
number those daily, nightly? Sorry, or is that just arbitrary numbers?
It's completely arbitrary.
Okay, yeah, that makes
At least
sense.
you're honest about it.
Hmm.
Yes.
Go for it. What can you help us with them?
I believe I can send a wasp to go investigate the vehicle, then come back and report to me.
Oh, that would be really sweet. I'm just going to pretend that we're lost here and I've got my phone out. Okay. I'm going to try to motion
I'm
around
going
in
to-
case someone's looking.
Do my wasp reconnaissance.
All right.
Let me figure out what role that is.
You're sending wasps. Sorry, where were you exactly sending them? Are you sending them
To the van, like just to look in the windows.
All right, perfectly. That you don't need to roll anything for that. They'll check it out. But communicating with them, though.
Yeah, I
that-
can't speak with them actively, I don't think, but here, I
No,
can double check.
I think you need to roll for the talking to animals.
All right, I can do that.
I believe. Feral whispers. Commune with beasts of the wild in the city. One rouse check per type of animal chosen for the scene. Free when used on Famulus. So you don't need to do a rouse check. You roll manipulation, animalism.
Okay.
No, yeah, manipulation, animalism.
Perfect.
I would think is the one.
Come on. Roll
Yeah,
and
no,
give me-
no rouse check. That doesn't matter.
Okay, come on. It's not letting me choose manipulation, so
Oh no,
let's
choose.
see.
What was it? Manipulation, charisma.
Animalism, right?
Press.
Yeah, I press the thing and it just... Here. Oh, I know what I can do.
All right, right.
I got it.
You can just slash.
There we go.
You
Perfect.
got it.
5 successes.
5
Your
out of
hornets
5.
Are what? Sorry. Yeah, 5
5
out of 5.
5.
No critical, but that's more than enough. Your hornets are on point.
Do they do a little wiggle dance?
Yeah.
On your
Yes,
face.
they do
yeah.
their little hornet wiggle.
Yeah, they wiggle their big behinds. And I'll show you.
Boo.
Sorry. There's no one in the van. They did smell blood, though. Blood that smelled a little bit like yours. That's about all the information you can make out, but it's empty. And it's been empty for a while. It was very cold, they told you.
There may be kindred in the vicinity.
Does he relate to us that the blood smelled like his?
I will, yeah. They said it smelled like my blood, which probably means it's kindred.
Can they differentiate between kindred and Nosferatu? Because if there's a Nosferatu around, we might not be able to see him. Well, Giulia
Yes.
might.
At this level, I say you were able to understand that it was kindred blood.
Still
Just
not
kindred.
great.
Not sure what clan. We should head inside. We might be being observed.
Yeah,
We
good idea.
probably are, but
Question.
Yes.
Can, when we head inside, can I use Shadow Cloak?
First, you have to get inside, and the door is padlocked.
Yes,
It's a
I'm just-
heavy padlock. Yeah.
I'm just asking if that is something I can do.
I believe you can use it whenever you want. Since
Well,
the
that's probably
shadows-
not a smart thing to say to me. But sure.
No, I think you can. I don't think there's any restrictions unless there's like an extreme spotlight on you. But I think the shadows come from you.
Yeah, that's my question, because, there's street lights, could be old neon
there's
signs.
plenty of shadows for you to use.
Great.
So that won't be a problem.
My favorite.
Yeah. I mean, once you start going down these steps, there's like no light. So
Super.
basically everyone is in shadows. But again, the padlock on the door is pretty heavy looking. Breakable, perhaps. Pickable, probably. It's not a complicated lock.
well,
Let's
Who
see
can
if I
pick
got
locks?
this. I have some dots in larceny. I can give it a shot.
All right.
oh,
Yeah,
you
sure.
do? That's good.
Dex larceny
try
would be an
first.
appropriate roll. If you want to break it, it would be a strength check, so double strength.
There we go. Dex larceny.
2 successes. That is unfortunately not enough, but you would be able to do it if you spend a willpower and get a couple more successes.
I'll spend a willpower, and
Alright.
that's for 3 die I can re-roll,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
All right, then I'll just roll strength because I have 3 dots in that attribute.
Yep. So that's another success. 3 successes. That is not enough to pick it, I'm afraid. You get the little pick in there and you fiddle around and you almost got it, but no, you didn't, unfortunately.
Someone
Is-
break it.
Is the padlock door the only way into this club? Is there no windows,
The
no
windows
other
are
back
very,
doors?
very small, and you couldn't fit a person through those.
Mm,
As far as you can see on this side, this is the only entrance.
perfect. I have like no strength.
Me either.
Oh, we're so good at this.
I
have
do.
strength too.
I can break it open. I got a strength brawl, or what would that be? Strength.
Strength, like a double strength.
Double strength,
yeah.
okay.
So, just want to say, if you boost your strength, you would get 2 extra dice.
I don't need to. I have 6. That's a 6 dice pool, I think.
All right.
I would help you, but I don't want to break a nail. Do you think you can do it yourself?
Oh my god.
I just tried.
Listen, it's important, okay? Do you know how much a nail
Nails can be
cost?
replaced.
Stanley, I'm afraid that's not enough for a success.
At this point,
But
Seb is getting impatient. He's like,
Yes.
this is
So
no
is
longer
Marie.
stealth. So I guess keep an eye out, and I grab the lock and I start to try and just pull it apart.
All right.
So I am going to boost my
Mhm.
strength with a rouse check. I go to hunger
you
2.
gain a hunger, yeah.
Ooh. Did you say I get an extra 2 for this?
Yes, because it's strength, like a double
Oh,
strength.
that's amazing.
Yeah.
5 successes.
With your powers combined, because
Ah, damn.
obviously Stanley did all the hard work.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
But yeah, the padlock breaks. I would say You don't care? Do you care for stealth at all, Seb, or are you just breaking it?
Seb is not a stealthy person. If he meets someone, he can, deal with them.
All right. The lock breaks, falls to the ground, door is open.
Come on, quickly. I don't know how
Careful.
much time we got.
Cloak of Shadows? Or what? Not Cloak of Shadows, Shadow Cloak.
Yep. You head inside. This place hasn't been used for quite a while. But the first thing that you notice is that there's this, not overbearing, but there's a background smell of blood. Like, it's old, but it's there. It's a bar. Abandoned, of course. Chairs aren't even put up on the tables. It's pretty small. There's a couple of gambling tables. Still a bunch of bottles on the wall behind the bar. And there is a small TV in one corner. And let me see here what else I wrote in so I don't miss anything. There are plastic tarps across the gambling tables, of course. And there's a corridor leading further in. And I would like everyone to roll Wits Awareness, please. And then tell me your successes, because unfortunately I
let me
only see on
check.
that.
1. No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. 3.
You got
Oh, wait,
3.
did
I
mine
got
not go through
1.
there now? Okay, awareness
I got
Come on.
2.
plus wits, and that is
4.
Oh
4.
my god.
Stanley, my friend, my comprado. I don't speak Spanish at all. You hear the very faint sounds of people breathing further down this corridor and shuffling of feet against the floor, like someone's trying to move quietly.
And I'll just say quiet, and then I'll activate my pass unseen.
Perfect.
Rouse
Yeah, as
check.
soon as he says quiet, I stand stock still and get out my gun.
Perfect. You get your gun out. Stanley goes completely quiet.
And don't get a point hungrier,
Nope.
and I'm gone.
Can I try to hide somewhere?
Certainly. There's a couple of places you can hide. Behind the bar, behind one of the gambling tables. Where do you want to go?
He didn't say where, or I just the closest place.
Bar would
What's
be
the
the
closest
easiest
thing?
one, so you get behind the bar. I would like
All right.
you to roll Dex Stealth, since you're hiding. Neither Stanley nor Seb are hiding, correct? Seb has his gun out, but he's not hiding. Stanley, you're quiet, but you're not hiding.
It's pass unseen. Does it make me quiet, or does it make me...
Oh, it's the pass unseen. I thought you used
Yeah.
the... Oh, sorry. I thought I mixed it up with Silence of Death.
Oh, it's okay.
No, you're invisible.
Gone.
You can move with that one, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so you're
the first one is the one I
you're
can't
gone.
move with.
Sorry, I mixed it up with Silence of Death.
Yeah, it's okay.
And Marie, what are you doing?
I'm standing in the largest, shadowiest corner, not moving.
Perfect. So does that give you a bonus to your stealth?
It does, yes.
All right, I would like you to roll Dex Stealth.
I rolled a 6, by the way.
6, you're gone. Like you threw yourself combat roll over the bar and just hit.
While she rolls, I realized I forgot to say how I look.
Oh, sure.
My goodness.
Giulia is like just she looks Southern Italian with a slightly tanner skin naturally. She's got the Instagram influencer hair.
Perfect.
And she's kind of tiny, like shorter and petite, and like just kind of like dressed stylishly. But for example, doesn't wear the heels that you would think go with her outfit because she probably has to run a lot.
Yeah, heels are no good
Depending
for
on-
this situation.
She doesn't look like someone that will punch you in the face, although she might apparently have some strength in there.
I rolled
Thank
a 5, by the way.
5, you're gone. I just want to say, by the way, sorry to the chat that I'm not responding. I'm getting some direct messages, but unfortunately, due to the setup, I'm not really able to reply to messages in the chat. Yeah.
I don't mean to ruin your day, Kitsu, but Julia's stealth is a messy critical.
Oh!
Oh,
Oh, is it?
just sipping
It
the water
does
after
say
dropping that
so.
bomb.
Oh,
Oh, it is.
oh, beautiful.
So what does that mean? What can I do?
How do we do this? A messy critical.
How would you messy critical a
Stealth roll behind
Yeah,
the bar.
is
This
it-
place
what-
smells of blood, right?
Yeah.
You lap blood off the floor.
Well, there's no blood here.
It's in the
but
van.
Do I spill something over myself?
You know what happens is that you jump across the bar, hiding behind it, perfect stealth roll, and you land in a way that you land on a bottle and it breaks.
Ooh.
But it's so perfectly that you land, so the crack is almost imperceptible. Like no one can hear it but you. But you feel how your clothes are getting slowly stained with what you believe is rye whiskey.
Ugh.
That'll eat right through it.
Yeah, that's gonna leave a stain and a smell. So, yeah, your dress, your beautiful dress.
Hey, at least they can't smell me. They're gonna smell whiskey.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. This is all for the masquerade. So,
She is like distraught. Like, look at
Yeah.
her. Just like,
Seb, you're the only one standing around. You see a guy come out of the corridor, and he's actually holding a handgun. And he just holds it up
shit.
against you. It's like, who the fuck are you?
Just very. Is he in front or behind me?
He is in front of you. Because
Okay.
he kind of just comes around the corner. He looks like hired muscle. He's got this kind of bodybuilder type that would definitely include some additives in the diet, and he looks kind of unshaven, like he's been here a couple of days, and he's holding his gun like you know the way.
Sideways.
Sideways.
Alright,
He's
you got
cool.
5 seconds, buddy. What the fuck you doing here?
Hey, I'm
Bees.
here to collect some old stuff.
Bees.
No,
Keys.
hang on. Don't worry about this. I got it.
He said bees.
Oh, okay. I guess
Well, I
there's
mean,
bees then.
Are you saying out loud that don't worry about it? Because you don't know what he's doing. But before we do
I
that,
think part of the thing is like trying to keep.
You know what?
it
I'll
balanced with shit.
I'll let you do the talking before I hit this guy with the bees.
Alright,
That's
right.
probably for the best.
This is not the first time you guys are working together, so let's not
Yeah.
pull out the artillery right away. So yeah, Sab, you were saying.
Does this guy look injured or like he might have lost blood at all?
Not, you know, when you're looking at him, he's a little pale. He's a little blue around the gills, or green around the gills, I guess you'd say.
Ah.
Not a lot, but you've been around plenty of people that you fed from that you can tell that someone's been feeding from him.
Right. Hey, don't worry. I'm here to meet the guy. It's all above board. Just chill.
Meet the guy. You wanna roll
downstairs.
for that by the way?
Oh yeah. I'm
Yeah.
completely bullshitting.
Yeah,
this.
manipulation subterfuge. Oh no, your worst skill.
Yeah. I don't suppose beautiful gives me a +1 in
Not
this
with this guy,
situation.
sorry. Not with this guy. He's already suspicious, so...
3 successes.
Three
I'm gonna
successes.
willpower that.
Yeah, sure, go right ahead.
'Cause
Because
I
that's
wanna-
not going to be enough. No.
Yeah, I can do 3.
Yep. That's eight success. No, yeah, that's eight successes.
Do you reckon that's enough? 8 successes.
Jesus Christ.
I don't know, man. Is that going to be enough? He just lowers his gun like, fuck, why didn't you say so? You're a refreshment? Because we've been down here for like 3 days, man. I'm getting sick of this place. It smells of blood. Do you smell that?
Yeah, it's.
Some weird shit went
Sick.
down here, I'm telling you.
Do you even know what happened here?
I don't
Why
fucking
does it
know,
smell
but I
like
don't
blood?
want to spend another minute here. You can take my place. I'll leave right now. You can tell them I'm leaving. I'm done with this.
Oh, yeah, sure.
All right. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Tell them to send me a check or something. And he just walks out
Will
the
do.
door like he's done with this.
Huh.
I'd like to come out of the shadows and be like, is there anyone that you can't charm, Seb? Seriously.
Just a disappointed buzzing from one of the corners.
I have to say,
Sorry.
I would be genuinely impressed with Seb at this point, watching him with the Lasombra and now this.
That is legitimately impressive. Like,
Yeah,
this guy
genuinely impressed.
talks the guy into quitting. Like,
Yeah, he was just like, yeah, you take my place. I don't want to be here anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am sorry you didn't get to use your bees. And Maria, no, there is no one I can't charm.
Well, you haven't tried to charm me. Oh, gross.
don't tempt him. He'll succeed.
Yeah, you stink like a
Who says I
brewery.
haven't?
I got whiskey all over my dress. This is horrible. You can smell me from a mile apart.
Oh,
I think that
no.
might work in this instance. You got the context of that right. Clearly, whoever's down there is drinking someone.
Yes.
Yeah, clearly. What was that about freshmen? Is this some sort of
I think he said refreshment.
refreshment?
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah.
shadows make things a little
Refreshment, fresh man. I guess both can work.
Yeah. So, I guess we got to pretend to be blood dolls now.
Well, you have to pretend to be a blood doll.
Well, here's another
I vote for Giulia.
tribute. Hey!
No, it would be perfect. They would love that. Probably. I don't know.
And
Well,
Seb.
I'll second that. And to say, by saying this, by the way, I'm coming out of invisibility. I have to.
I'm still in the shadows.
Mm.
Just talking. No, I'm kidding.
well, I suppose we can. I suppose with this whiskey, they're not gonna smell me that much, hopefully, depending on who it is.
Should we go down in the basement to see what the hell's going on in this horrible place? This den of debauchery?
Maybe we should go as forward scouts, you and I.
Sure.
The shadows are plentiful. And with that, I'm going to just zoop back into pass unseen.
And I'll go back into the shadows and
Let's get that
roll
rouse
something
check made.
stealth.
A question to the players, by the way. Sorry for interrupting, but since we have hit the official ending time for this game,
Oh.
there is a finishing point a little bit ahead that I was planning for. How are you folks with time? Are you okay with another 15, 20 minutes?
I am
I'm
good.
I'm
Then
good
we
for
will
that.
Carry on. 15 to 20 minutes.
I
More
do
or
not
less,
get
yeah.
hungrier. As
You
I
do
go
not get
invisible.
hungrier, you just go-
Hooray!
Disappear.
I'm still at 1 hunger.
That's great.
This is good.
You got some luck with your dice today.
For once in my life.
Yeah.
This is for once in my life, the dice gods have mercy.
Oh man.
Don't
yeah.
anger them.
So who's heading forward? Marie and Stanley, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So
I just talked to Giulia like, yeah, which of us should pretend to replace that dude?
I think you should take turns.
I'll go.
Okay.
But you have my back with the gun and stuff.
Yeah.
Just
yeah,
have
good
my
idea.
back and I'll go first. I'll do this. I look as the most out of place, I suppose. So
Yeah, sure. I guess they might be expecting more, so I guess you could use that as cover. I will wait outside the room, I guess, until maybe I'm needed.
okay.
After
All
you.
right. Don't let anything bad happen to me. I swear to God. Okay.
Of course not.
I swear to whoever's up there. Actually, I don't know. I'm not gonna swear to any specific.
who knows at this point?
She just goes down, heels clicking on the they're not like the big heels. But they're like,
The kitten heels, the really small ones.
yeah, let's go with them. Can you tell I don't really wear heels or I'm not this refined? Sorry.
It's all good.
I'm
it's all
trying.
good. So, if I got this right, you are heading in to pretend to be the replacement, and the other two, are you going ahead or are you?
Yes.
Yes, we're
You're going
scouting ahead.
Perfect. So you continue down this corridor, and you find yourself pretty soon in another bar area. This is clearly a section that has a little bit more security. Like there's a door, a plastic pushing door that you go through, and this part is a brothel. There's a strip pole right in here. There's a bar, and then there's 2 corridors on either side of the bar. And down these corridors, you see they're lined with doors to presumably smaller rooms. And at the end of each corridor, you see a door at the very end. And this place has been used a lot more than the other one has been. There's a small mini fridge filled with beers and some sodas. There's a bunch of emptied pizza cartons, half-eaten pizza. There's a couple of rolls of weed, like there's a bunch of blunts and spliffs and half-smoked in an ashtray. There's a small television that's currently playing on the bar. So presumably the guy was sitting here when you arrived. And yeah, this place is also gathering dust. Like there's some tracks in the floor, but looks like people have just been using this place to crash, basically.
Mm-hmm. So, smell of blood. Was he the? Can I?
It gets
just do
stronger when you get closer, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you
So
said
let's
there
get
was
closer.
you said there was a door somewhere?
There are 2 corridors on each
Right.
side of the bar in here. This is the second bar that you're coming to. And in both of these corridors, there are about 4 doors on each side, so 8 doors, so 16 doors.
Jesus.
Yeah, lots of doors. And at the end of each corridor, there's a bigger door, which would be the VIP area, you suppose. And one of them is half open, like just a little bit. You see some light coming from inside.
I would like to see light coming from inside.
Yeah, you see some light from inside.
I would like to indicate to Stanley that there is an open door and that if it's open enough, maybe he can sneak through it without breaking his obfuscate.
I'll see if I can.
You head over there, and you realize pretty quickly that the door is only open enough so that the guy who left could yell at people in here. But there is enough room to look into the room. Enough of a space between the door and the wall. And you look inside, I presume?
I absolutely will.
The smell of blood is overpowering here. You are more attuned to that smell than a normal mortal would be. Sorry. So it's very distinct to you. But it's not fresh. It's definitely from something before, something that might have even been cleaned away. But you know that blood, it sticks around until someone really goes to town with it. This is a VIP room. There's a couple of beds. There's like a the heart-shaped bed with mirrors in the ceiling. You know, the kind of room. There's a strip pole. There's a jacuzzi that's obviously not in use. And you see 5 people in the room. You see 3 men, similar to the guy who just left, clearly belonging to the same clique. And they're actually playing, I think that's Tekken 7 that they're playing on their PS4, sitting in a corner, yelling at each other. You see, tied to one of the strip poles, Sylvia. She has her eyes and mouth tied with rags into her, so she can't speak and she can't see. And she's kind of like half lying, half sitting against a pole with her hands behind her back. And you see a woman dressed in leather, like a heavy leather jacket, the kind that can, a really motorcycle jacket that can take a bit of a beating, and jeans. And she's fairly tall, short blonde hair that's kind of brushed back, kept back with some wax. And she's sort of just sitting in a chair and using a knife to clean under her nails, and she's looking at the guys playing their game and just looks very bored.
This is bad.
Would I have any idea?
I'm not going to say that out loud, though.
You don't see anything, Marie, right now. So
right.
Yeah.
Right.
One more detail that you notice, by the way, Stanley, is that there is a shotgun. What was that pronunciation? Shotgun leaning against the television set that they're playing on.
Okay. How do we go about this? Well, we should first of all probably wait for reinforcements, but we shouldn't. This is going to require. So I'm going to go out of the room and then sort of maybe on the stairs, drop my illusion and just gesture for Marie to join me.
And I do so.
I'll go back up to Seb and Giulia. Also, we'll just get the four of us together. They've got a friend of mine tied up in there. They're armed.
Missing thin bloods.
I believe so.
Yeah, she's a thin blood. Yeah.
Yes, she's
Who?
yes.
How many?
There are 3 of them, correct?
3 men.
3 men and then a woman with a knife.
Yeah.
She strikes me as bad news. There's a shotgun propped up against the TV. Don't know what it's loaded with, but if they know anything about us, then it could be very bad.
What condition is your friend in?
She's currently tied to a strip pole.
Okay.
Right. Not enviable then. Okay. Sorry, Giulia. Change of plan. If it's just guys in there and the person with the
Knife.
bad news person is clearly got a type, looks like I'm going in. You can follow behind me and still be invisible, right?
I can.
I can keep to the shadows and stay behind you as well.
Poof,
Might as
back
well.
invisible, and I'll make that rouse check. Here, I'll just...
Baby! I have
Okay,
a cat,
pass
sorry.
it.
Show us.
Oh, a cat.
Okay.
Well, still goes. Don't let anything happen to you, okay? If it gets too bad, like, the most important thing is, not to meet the Russian, so to speak.
If they shoot me, I should be fine.
Unless that shotgun's loaded with dragon's breath, then...
Yeah. Some information for maybe Kitsu and how do you think I know that guns generally don't do much damage against vampires because they mostly damage through breaking organs, and yours don't work. Shotguns, tricky, especially like they're saying if they're loaded with something flammable or,
Yes.
Okay.
I'll try and steer clear of it then.
We can do this stealthily, it would be better than, needing to affront them.
Yeah,
But quick
that's-
check. We are looking for answers. Is that correct?
Yeah,
Oh,
we're looking for a
good.
Russian.
A Russian who's tied up at the moment with people keeping her tied up.
Yeah, I don't much care about the tied up person, but, Stan does, so.
She's not Russian, Sylvia Roanhorse. She's Native American, by the way. But I didn't mention that. But,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. When you hear noise, you ready for a fight?
Yes.
Cool. I am going to use toughness.
All right.
Yeah, so I'm prepared for a fight going down. I do
Perfect.
get hungrier.
You get hungrier, but you still have your extra bonus to strength still. That's going to last you the whole scene. So
Oh, does it?
yeah,
Sweet.
I think it does, doesn't it?
I thought it lasted for one roll, but
I can check. Can someone check that out? I think it lasts for a scene, doesn't it?
I believe so.
Yeah. Or
I think that's V20 though.
oh yes, you're right. I'm sorry.
In this one, you do it for
Wow,
specific roles.
Oh,
But either way, I'm using toughness, so if I get shot, it's not too much of a problem. And I go in, I just start to go in there, and I use the excuse that we've been given.
yeah. You're hunger 3, right?
Mm-hmm.
As soon as you activate, or as soon as you channel the blood to boost yourself, your resistance to damage, you feel that nagging voice in the back of your head, and it's saying, "It's fine. This is a perfect opportunity to feed. There's only 4 of them. There's 4 of you. Just run in there, drain them dry. You don't need
You
to do
are
any
a
trickery."
thirsty bastard. Don't stop that. They're not even into it. That's inappropriate kinds of blood for me, and you know how particular I am.
They're
Just
probably
stop
into
it.
it. They're probably into
Stop
it.
it.
They look old
No.
enough.
Stop it. Stop it.
All right. All right.
You're
Fine.
the worst.
One of these days. One of these
Look,
days.
just work with me for now, and then we'll
All right,
get a
fine,
snack.
Fine.
I start working my way down that
Mhm,
corridor,
mhm.
and I open the door.
You're about to open the door
Yes.
when the door is opened on you, and the woman that Stanley described is standing there looking at you. And she gives you a look and goes,
Replacement.
I don't think so. And she lounges at you with her knife.
What?
And let's see here. Are you gonna dodge? How does that work? Cat's screaming.
Can I shoot her instead?
You certainly can. These things will happen at the same time. I don't believe there's initiative anymore in this, is there?
There is not.
No.
No. So you may freely shoot at her while she's stabbing at you.
Okay. Can I use composure firearms for that?
Yes, you may. What is your... What do I have to beat to stab you? Your
You have to
I
beat
think you have to beat my roll.
Yeah, you have
Your
to beat the roll.
All right. What did you roll?
Nothing yet. 1.
Oh, boy.
Oh.
Oh, boy.
Fingers crossed.
That's not enough, unfortunately. She's fast, and she knows how to use that knife. So you pull up your gun and fire. Unfortunately, she's already kind of ducking out of the way, like going close, which is the best way to deal with that in her opinion. And her knife just kind of goes up across your torso, slicing upwards, ruining your very nice shirt, and cutting a pretty deep gash across your chest. I'm going to roll some damage for that. And...
Gosh.
I think
Damage is the number of
margin.
successes.
All right.
Yeah, the
well,
margin of
then
success.
that's 3 damage.
However,
Yes, you have toughness.
I have toughness, so I can reduce that. I can't reduce it below 1.
No, but you reduce
But
it by
it's-
half, right? Or is it?
I reduce it by my fortitude.
That's the one. And you have
I
a
have
lot of
3.
fortitude. So you get 1 damage. Thankfully, you were prepared for just this kind of event. And while she does cut you, it could have been a lot worse. I mean, it's bad, but it could have been a lot worse. And the 3 guys obviously hear the gunshot, and 2 of them pull handguns out of their pockets. 3rd one goes for the shotgun. But
I'm gonna
they're-
send bees into that room to slow them down as much as possible.
That's perfectly fine, because you may act, because they're caught by surprise, so they can't really do much else this round. Go ahead and send in bees.
Have fun shooting a shotgun when you're getting stung by a bunch of wasps.
What is that? That is, you have to roll charisma animal ken, right? To make them do what you want them to?
I believe it is. It's no roll if they're your famulus.
That's right. All right, they go in, and they start buzzing around. And what I'm gonna
Stinging too.
What I'm
They're-
gonna
it's
do?
they have a dice pool of 5 for stuff
Yeah.
like for attacks and all
Yeah.
that.
So you're gonna roll for them actually.
Okay.
And I'm gonna roll to see if any of them actually get out of the way. Otherwise, they're gonna have. If they want to fire
Oop,
at any of you, they're gonna have
I
a
need
lot
to
of minuses.
modify that roll
Yeah.
because I need to add 2 dice to that. Oh, wait, did I? What the? Okay, just a minute. So we'll go
toughness
with
is foreseen. Yeah. We got some help from the chat.
here. I'll just go with animal ken, and then I'll add a modifier of
All
3
right.
because that's
Yeah.
what it. Or I could just do the strength. Animal ken plus strength. That's not the actual roll, but that's 5 dice. So
That's fine,
2
that's fine.
successes.
2 successes. All right, I'm gonna roll. All right, let's get rid of those. Ooh. So what happens is that the guy who's going for the shotgun, he's actually moving away at a time, so he's not caught up in the cloud of hornets yet. However, his friends are not so lucky, and they start yelling as they're being stung from all directions. They're clearly bothered by it, and you see welts kind of swelling up, so they're not kindred, that's for sure.
Perfect.
Marie and Giulia, sorry. You hear a gunshot. What do you do?
That's you go first.
Okay. I went down with Stanley following Seb before the door burst open. Can I see the man with the shotgun?
Right now, you can barely see him from behind both Seb and the woman and the other two guys standing there. But you can kind of make him out, but it's really not a clear line of sight.
Okay. Can I use Arms of Abraham on him?
Ooh.
On him, that's going to be very difficult. You can.
Would it be easier to assist Seb with the woman who's stabbing him?
I'd say that would be the easiest one, for sure.
I don't like the shotgun guy. Hopefully Giulia can do something about that. I'll help Seb.
You could do the shotgun guy. It would just be very difficult because it's 4 people.
Yes, and it's wits and oblivion, isn't it?
Hey, if he tries to come out of that door, he's got to walk through a cloud of hornets.
That's true.
That's
But
true.
he can try to shoot through them. That's the problem.
Yeah, buckshot hurts. I will help Seb though.
All right. Go ahead and roll. Is that against her roll as well, or has she already used her defense for this round? How does that work? I'm very bad at combat rules.
I wouldn't know.
It depends on how you want to run it. Normally, I would put it against her roll because that's like her thing for the turn is trying to stab me.
Yeah. So roll your wits occult. Thank you very much, Josh, for that. And that is 3 successes. So if she rolls the same amount, that would be a success, correct?
I would be willing to burn a willpower.
I don't.
Yes, that would be a success. I believe ties go to the person acting, but
let's go with that for now. So that's a success.
I've heard ties go to the defender.
Okay.
Okay. All right. I'm sure the chat will tell us in a second.
Spend a willpower then.
Yeah. Oh, her roll -1. Someone's saying in the chat. So because she's already occupied fighting Seb, right? So she gets a minus to hers.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So you do succeed with 3.
I don't know if that's true. It's because as much as I love you, chat, I've had rule suggestions from chat before that are very, very wrong. So I will look it up.
Yeah, thank you very much. But for this one, we'll go with that.
It could also be a surprise. She doesn't know I'm there.
Yeah, she doesn't know. She doesn't know.
She doesn't know. That's true.
A success. So what does the Arms of Arimanes do, or how do you?
I will tell you, because I was reading it a second ago.
Perfect.
I apparently would summon abyssal appendages from unlit spots in the area within line of sight,
There's plenty of those.
Yes. Murky tentacles snake out from them and converge on one or more hapless victims. So I don't know if I could have gotten the shotgun guy or not.
It would have been more difficult.
Right. Oh, I can't read very. I'm sorry, I can't read very well with these glasses on.
Unfortunately, I do have the printout actually.
The arms use the wits and oblivion to attack and deal superficial damage or grapple, adding half of the user's potence rating as a damage bonus.
Do you grapple or do you attack?
I would like to grapple.
You grapple. So that means you add your potence to that and your successes.
Yes.
And she has to roll strength brawl to break out of it?
Yes.
Right, on her turn. Yeah. We'll say that for now. You grapple her. Grappling rules are, by the way, my nemesis in any kind of game. I just can't get my mind. 3.5 was terrible. So you grapple her, like 2 thick appendages just can slide out of the wall. Like you'd expect there to be some kind of wet sound of them not crashing through the wall, but no, they just slither out quietly and snake around her, and she curses out loud as she's caught completely unaware, and the knife actually drops to the ground as she's like constricted by these 2 tentacles. And she's just fucking shoot them! Like she's shouting back at the others, and they're just trying to get rid of the beasts or the horns flying around them. Giulia, what are you doing?
I have a question because I can't find it here, but I have celerity. Would that help me get to the guy with the shotgun and do something
What
about
celerity
it.
powers do you have?
I
think
chose this, I
I
swear to
think you
God,
picked the
but I
one that
don't...
lets you not have a minus for being shot, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's handy.
Yeah, so no, unfortunately you don't have, you can have Cat's Grace or the other one for level 1, and I think you only have 1 dot in celerity, right?
Yeah, I have 1 dot in celerity, 2 dots in Nosferatue,
Yeah.
and
So
1 in
unfortunately you
obfuscate.
can't run up to her. But you can do a minor action, like ready a weapon or something like that.
Would I be able to... Yeah, I can't stealth past, right? There's no way.
No, not at this point, no. It's a party of craziness in the corridor right now in the door.
Okay, then I just grab my... Is there a kind of bottle nearby? Anything? I don't think I have.
Yeah, sure. There's a glass bottle nearby.
I grab the glass bottle and I just try to smash it over her head.
All right, so you're running
I
up.
can get there.
You had to get past both Seb and Marie, which is doable, I guess. This is not too narrow a corridor, and Stanley. But go ahead and roll Dex melee.
Can I stand out of the way of the like stay to the side, because obviously they're in the doorway, I suppose. So I'm to the side.
Yeah, Stan
I'm not in line of sight of
Seb
the
and the
Mr.
woman are in the
Shotgun.
doorway. Stan is a little bit behind, and Marie is also a little bit behind. So, yeah, you can do that. But
Let me just check something really quickly,
All right.
because I want to see if I... Yeah, no, it's... What am I doing?
Dex melee, or melee dex, rather. It's melee. No, what? Yeah, melee is still a skill, right?
Yeah, melee still exists.
Yes,
thank
it's
God.
for melee weapons. Yeah.
I'm like,
One of the few.
yeah, ask me about the revised rules. I would know about it, but even though I played V5 for a lot of times, I just can't remember these things. So,
And I would find melee where?
melee is in the first column.
I found it! I found it! Thank
Do you have any dots in it?
No.
All right, well, roll ahead.
But I have 2 dots in Dex.
That's
Let's
okay,
see what
and
happens.
you also have 1 hunger, so this could go either way. That is 1 success. Not enough, unfortunately, to hit her, but you swing a bottle at her. She's constricted, though. This is complicated. Don't really...
Like
no.
maybe the bottle doesn't break.
The bottle doesn't break. No, you don't cause any damage to her. Unfortunately, 1 success is not going to be enough. New turn. Sebastian, what are you doing?
Seb is going to thank Marie in his own
Yes.
head. He wouldn't admit it out loud. Like, oh my god, shadows, great. And try and shoot the do I want to go for shotgun person?
Up to you. He's got the shotgun now.
Yeah, this knife lady is all tied up, so I am going to go. I am going to run through the bees to shotgun person who now we're in combat. Can I use dominate?
I believe you need to get their attention to use dominate, correct?
Yeah, I imagine.
Yeah, so that would be the challenge, because they are surrounded by bees. They're a little bit distracted right now.
Oh, it is the shotgun guy in the bees now.
You could be able to catch his attention, yeah, that would be doable. But he would certainly be ready for you, so it's not going to be an automatic success.
Gotcha. Okay. That's fine. I'm fine with rolling mesmerize against.
Go right ahead. Against
this. So this dude has to roll int versus int plus resolve, and I have to
all right. It's not going to be a great roll. Oh, eye contact. Yeah, so you're able to catch his eyes because he's kind of looking towards you.
Okay. Yeah. I need eye contact.
Yeah.
I just look at him, point my gun to get his attention. I'm assuming he brings his shotgun round to me or something.
Oh yeah, for
I'm
sure.
just like, give me the shotgun.
You rolled 2 successes. That is enough. He just shrugs and tosses you the shotgun.
Cheers.
Amazing.
And then he just goes,
I didn't do my rouse, but there we go.
Yeah.
That's my rouse
they're
check.
in your hands.
It's
The
right
shotgun's
before
in
you
your hands. Like,
blast
she's like, what
him.
the fuck are you doing? Like she's yelling at him, like still constricted. She's trying to
Cheers.
break loose. And first of all, she's going to do this, right? And then she's gonna. How does she need strength brawl? Oh, that's gonna be one more.
I think it's resolve something for the Lasombra powers, right?
Oh, maybe. How do you
Versus-
please?
Yes. Wait. Strength and brawl.
Oh, is it?
Requiring a strength and brawl roll if the victim is trying to get out of it or avoid it.
Versus what? Versus a difficulty or your success?
Versus my success, so I'd have to roll wits and oblivion and a rouse check again.
All right,
I don't
know
go
where I
right
got
ahead and
that
do
from
that. If you're still constricting her, by the way.
I would like to hold on to her because I have a feeling she's knows what's going on, and I'd like to talk to her.
Perfect. Then go right ahead and roll.
All right, so rouse check first. Success.
But this is not a normal schmo. There we go. That is 5 successes. What did you get? 3
Three.
successes. She breaks free.
Ugh.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, she just like she you can tell that she's certainly not a human, not a normal human anyway.
I had a feeling.
Yeah, and she just, what the fuck are you doing? Like, give me a gun! Like she's yelling at the other guys, and they're just trying to swat at the beast. So she goes into the beast to get one of the
Oh,
guns.
yeah.
And that's her turn. Or not the beast, the hornets. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I keep calling him bees.
Yeah.
It's fine.
It's the bee squad. So the people with the bees, the hornets, they're I'm gonna roll for them, but nope. They are very distracted by the hornets. They're not able to do much. They try to swat at them, but they don't do anything really. Stanley, what are
You're
you
too
doing?
fast, too quick.
Bees.
Hell yeah.
Stanley, what are you doing?
That'll be your next song, Seb.
Bees.
Stanley, what are you doing?
Okay, yep. What I'm gonna do is I am going to. She's not getting to my bees. I'm rushing the lady with the
All right.
leather jacket and the knife.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to engage her. I'm gonna try and punch her
Go
real
right
hard.
ahead. Do I
Come
have
on.
to? What do I have to roll then? Would it still be the same roll as my strength brawl? That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, no, it would be if you're trying to dodge, then it would be. I'm not sure. It would be.
Yeah.
Oh
Dex
Jesus! 6
athletics.
Well,
successes.
she does really poorly. So you punch her in the back of her head. You do some damage. Yeah.
If she's immortal, then I can do aggravated. If she's not, then I can't.
You're not doing aggravated damage. to this
Okay.
person.
I'll still take-
She kind of like almost falls forward into one of the guys, but she's far from done. And you see actually that Sylvia's like waking up, like shouting through the mouth, the fabric in her mouth, but she seems to be okay. All right, so.
Is it my turn?
I think, Marie, if you still try to keep her constrained, would that be your action this round?
I would like to try and restrain her again, yes.
No, but I mean, since you were trying to keep her restrained this round, would that
Yes,
have been
that
your
was my action. Yes.
That was your action.
And I failed, yes.
Right. So unfortunately, nothing more for you this turn.
That's okay.
But Giulia.
Since the like walkway or doorway, sorry, cleared up a little, I try to sneak inside and go to the bound girl,
Mm-hmm.
and I try to untie
Okay.
her.
Okay, you try to sneak inside. It's going.
I
to be
don't have to specifically hide, but I want to
No.
be like not noticeable. So
Yeah.
because I'm
Okay.
tiny, I try to.
All right. Roll Dex stealth. They're very preoccupied, obviously, but being unnoticed. Yeah, roll dex stealth. For successes, you're like the wind. You're in there, they don't notice you.
I just kind of sneak behind. It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. Don't make a sound.
You start untying.
Don't let them see I'm untying you. But I'm going to rescue you. Be quiet. Don't move.
She nods quietly, like she seems pissed actually. She's like kind of pulling at her at the rope that she's tied to.
Stay still.
Like
I will help you if you stay still.
She
If
nods.
not, you can get shot. So
She
shut up.
relaxes a little bit.
Stay still. And don't let them know you're being untied. Shush.
Perfect. Seb, you got a shotgun.
Yeah, do. Let's see if Stanley's fears are confirmed, whether this thing has fire in it. I'm going to shoot the angry lady.
All right, go right ahead.
I'm going to add a dice to this one with a rouse check.
Oof. Oh, no more hunger.
Oh, 2? Really? I'm going to willpower that as well. I want to actually
How
hit.
many willpowers do you have left?
I have a bunch.
Oh, perfect. All right, willpower it away.
I can only roll 2, but still really good. 3 successes.
All right. She gets a minus for dodging a gun without cover. She's not using celerity right now, so that is a resounding failure. As you fire your shotgun at her, literal fire bursts out of the barrels.
Oh no!
And,
I was hoping we could ask her questions.
Yeah, that's 3 successes plus. I guess that would
Damn
be
you, Seb.
4 damage. No, a 12 gauge shotgun would do a +4 damage.
+4. I'm assuming it's aggravated because it's fire, right?
Yeah, so that's 7 damage
Oh,
of fire
Seb.
to her.
She's dead now, right?
She kind of makes a screeching noise as she's immolated. She's not dead yet, but she's a walking torch as she's screaming. A lot of your wasps are hornets are unfortunately dead because
I have many more.
And this is a pretty big fire. So I would like everyone to roll.
Oh, fuck.
Willpower?
Willpower. Yes.
Gosh.
See if you are scared shitless and run the fuck away from
It's a
them.
frenzy? Yeah, it's a frenzy roll.
Roll. Yeah, it's a frenzy roll.
What's the difficulty?
Yeah, what would the difficulty be? How do you do? Sorry, I've never done one.
There should be a chart. Difficulty for frenzy. Provocation.
19. That's the page.
Bonfire inside a burning building is 3. Bonfire is 2.
I would say it's a 2. You're not inside of a burning building, but this is certainly bonfire level.
There's actually.
Shit.
Oh, Stanley.
Oh,
no.
Stanley.
Oh, Stanley, no! But I rolled 1 too.
You rolled 1 too.
I rolled 4.
There's a actual frenzy button because it has to add on some humanity.
All
bits
right.
as well.
So,
did it, yeah.
Kitsu re-roll and press the frenzy button.
And Maria as well.
And Marie as well.
Oh, come on!
Oh my God, Sebastian.
You just
I have to-
cook her and then
Sorry,
frenzy.
I pressed
Oh, what have I done?
No, willpower, frenzy. There's something called frenzy.
There is a bit of
Wait, what do I
oh.
roll? How do you roll it? From Frenzy?
Frenzy,
Right next to
yes.
the willpower thing, there's a frenzy button.
Yeah, the rouse at the bottom of the sheet
Yeah.
where it says rouse and frenzy.
Oh, it only does +0 damage? Dragon breath? Really? It's a shotgun.
But Dragon's Breath.
It's
wait.
a different. I'll check the book.
All right.
I'm the
Because
only
it's
one
in
who's
there.
not gonna frenzy.
All right. Julia,
Items.
Seb, and Stanley will frenzy regardless of how much damage it is.
Oh my
the
gosh.
fires
Dragons-
of- Oh, sorry.
Yeah, they don't have they don't have a bonus.
No, they don't. Okay, so that's only 3 fire damage, but it's aggravated. She's on fire, and unfortunately, Seb, Julia, Stanley, you're freaking the fuck out. This is bad news, bears.
I didn't believe you. Why
So
didn't I believe you?
You want to get the fuck out of there. Giulia,
yeah.
thankfully, you've untied your good friend Sylvia, who I should roll a frenzy check for.
Do I know her?
No, not your it's Stanley's friend.
Okay. I was like,
She also frenzies and runs.
how do I gotta go?
So Marie, you see how you see three of your friends, all your friends basically, and this fourth
I
one
don't have any
just
other ones.
legging it out the corridor, running, screaming
Thanks, guys.
away from the fire that is enveloping this woman right now.
Yeah.
What do you do, Marie?
Well, that's an excellent question. It's a bar. Is there a fire extinguisher nearby? Extinguisher.
It's an underground bar. Would it be up to code?
I would say whether it's up to code or not, the bartender might want to have a fire extinguisher handy.
Unfortunately, you're not currently at the bar. You're at the VIP room. I don't think
There
the
wouldn't
VIP
be
room
one
has a
there.
fire extinguisher, but the bar might have one, yeah.
Would it hurt me to continue restraining her?
You're not restraining her currently.
If I tried, would it hurt me? The shadow tendrils don't technically come from me. They come from the shadows of the room.
True. No, it wouldn't hurt you, no.
If I restrained her,
would you have to make another frenzy check next round? Or is it just once and it...
I think it's just one.
Yeah,
for that specific source of fire.
So go ahead, roll to restrain her. She's currently screaming and flailing.
Yeah, I just want to wait for the fire to go out, maybe. Or maybe for somebody to come back in and help me.
I would say, actually, as she is flailing around, the fire does catch on to some old sheets lying on the floor.
Shit.
So...
Okay.
It's going to go out from her.
New tactic.
Yeah.
Could I get to the bar to get the fire extinguisher? Or is it not possible?
Get to the bar and look for the fire extinguisher. Yes.
Oh no, there's whiskey all over the floor. Oh no.
No, that's on the bar upstairs.
The bar upstairs.
Where Giulia
okay.
fell on the bottle. Yeah. Yes.
I mean,
I have to roll
could
too quickly.
be alcohol here too. Who knows?
Yeah, that's why I would like to stop it, because then we would all explode, and I'm only one in here.
You head over to the bar and inspect. And I'm gonna just basically roll a die to see how much the owners care about their clientele right now. So
I can guess.
That is not a success. There is no fire extinguisher.
Oh, shit.
You see the guys still alive. Or actually, wait, hold on a minute. They're all three alive, I believe. So they are running.
None of them have poisoning from all that wasp venom yet?
They do. Like, one of them is really bad. The other two are kind of carrying him out. They don't seem too concerned with following you guys. But the woman she's still in there.
The woman?
We should...
Which woman?
The one that was tied to the strip
burning
pole.
woman.
Fuck.
No,
she's free.
That one's
she's
okay.
running with you.
Okay.
Her.
Yeah, you
the one that stabbed me.
You all make your way out of the bar. I think you actually stop frenzying when you're clearly out of harm's way when it comes to Red Shrek, I believe.
I think so.
Because it's not the same as a hunger frenzy, or actually it's not the same as a rage frenzy.
Yeah.
So you kind of come out on the streets and you're like, ugh, and you're starting to relax as this is happening.
I've still got this shotgun. Like, I should probably hide this.
But we'll get to you again later, because Marie, right now, what are you doing?
I have no idea. Is there any of the curtains that aren't on fire?
It's a room that's filled with...
Or drapes.
There are no windows in this room.
Yes.
Theoretically, you might be able to contain it if you close the door. Don't think it's a fire door, though.
Oh my god.
Okay, so by the way, I was just reading something about the way fire damage works. The weapon, the ammo damage replaces the weapon. Replaces the weapon damage. So say you're using a Raufoss round, like the armor piercing, that would be +5.
Yeah, this is
damage.
Dragon's Breath.
Yeah, so the Dragon's Breath, I guess, would reduce the damage bonus of the shotgun, but makes it aggravated.
Yeah. So she took 3 aggravated. If she's on fire, does she keep taking fire damage every round, or is that just
I
going?
would think, but I don't know.
Doing a point of aggravated damage per round until
really?
the target is put out.
Well, I'm working on it. There's not a whole lot for me to do to put her out. I think we'd like to talk to her.
There are blankets, however.
Blankets, drapes,
People have been
curtains.
sleeping. Yes, there are. I'm sorry. Yes, there
Okay.
are blankets. There are people have been sleeping here. There's plenty of those.
Perfect.
So you
I would
could
like
you
to-
could put her out.
Yes, I would like to take whatever is the largest and thickest, and even though, because she doesn't breathe, who cares? Drop it over her head
Yeah.
and try and put her out. Make her do the stop, drop, and roll.
I'm gonna roll to see if she frenzies, which I believe is going to be highly likely. And she's frenzied, so she's running.
Everyone's frenzying
She's
but me.
running towards you, but she's on fire. I would like you to roll a strength brawl to see if you can catch
Oh
her
yeah,
in your blankets.
oh go great.
Although you can still use
Oh,
your
no.
tentacles to catch her, and I guess then try to put the blankets on her.
I would rather do that
Yeah.
actually because I have
Sounds
no
fair.
brawl and 1 strength.
All right, go ahead and roll. It's unfortunately getting terribly late, so we're gonna. Have to
Yes, I know. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
All right, I get 1 point hungrier.
That's fine. You're at 2 now, I believe.
Yes.
And roll strength brawl.
2 successes.
She rolled. You're gonna have to do a willpower if you want to constrain her.
How do I do that? Just hit reroll?
You can re-roll 3 of
dice.
those. So you press WP re-roll. Oh yeah. No.
Did I hit the wrong thing?
That's
Yeah.
not correct.
Oh, I see it. I'm
Under-
sorry.
yeah.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
Sorry.
There we go. So that's 4 successes total.
Yeah.
That is enough to constrain her. She's
Oh, thank God.
surprisingly not very lucid about. So you put the fires out. She's screaming like high heaven, and is putting up a bit of a fight. Like it's difficult to constrain her. But what do you do now? She's put out.
She's put out.
Yeah.
And she's being held by my shadow tendril friends.
She's
Yeah.
struggling and screaming like she's out of her mind.
I would like to, as loudly as I can, and maybe go up the stairs a few bit and tell them to come back in here now.
Okay.
Damn it.
And whether
Don't
or
have
not
to ask
you
me
hear
twice.
that, whether or not you hear that, we will figure out in the next game. Because I think this is a
Alright.
pretty good place to end it. I am very tired.
Yeah.
But we
Gotta
will
eat
play
dinner.
again in 2 weeks. The 28th,
Alright.
I believe.
I didn't believe you when you said it might have fire in it. That'll never happen.
I believed you, Stanley.
And we've been getting some information about all the mistakes we've been making with the rules, but
That's
fine.
okay.
We're playing it our way.
Remember the
Yeah.
number 1 rule they say in the V5 book is
Follow all the rules.
no, the game is more important
Yeah.
than the rules.
We're
Yes.
having a blast. Everyone.
Yeah, this has been
This
great.
This was really fun. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Can't wait for 2 weeks. We'll see what happens then.
Yeah.
Thank you everyone for stopping by and watching. Sorry I've been constantly looking that way, but it's been a little bit of
okay.
a problem with computers. Tech happens. And this video will be up. It's already up probably because I'm streaming on YouTube. So if you missed the beginning, should be able to watch it from the go. Thank you everyone for stopping by. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
Take
Take
care,
care.
people.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye. Thank you.